Popularly known as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 52nd chapter, it reads, "Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of Yah endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah.
Selah.
Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. Yah shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy holy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah.
Selah.
The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not Yah his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Yah. I trust in the mercy of Yahweh forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. Hallelujah! Selah!
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like it's a full house. Shabbat shalom, y'all. Sorry on the late time, y'all, but seemed like everybody on Negro time today.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Negro time?
Yes, sir. So y'all,
Is that a condition?
Huh? Yeah, it is, boys. It becomes a sickness at times. So y'all, we don't want to get used to that. But y'all want to say shouts out to the worldwide family. And also, y'all, we got family in town today, y'all, from Pittsburgh.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Come to hang out with the St. Louis fam. We got Sister Shaniqua, Sister Carla, and Sister Rhea. So y'all, they come down to break bread with us, y'all. Hit that highway, y'all, like soldiers. Say that wasn't nothing to hit them 8 hours.
More for you to write their name down.
Right, boy. Look, I'm telling you. Come on, man. But y'all know how we do it, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get started because we're a little bit behind. And y'all, today's lesson, I'm gonna lamb back off of Elisha's class last week. And he spoke of should we protest, you know. So he went through some things concerning that as far as protesting with the nations. But today we're gonna pick it up of Israel's protest in the wilderness. Because we had a serious protest going on, y'all, that caused a lot of trouble. And if we're to mirror what happened in Egypt according to Ezekiel 20:33, then we have to do it accordingly. Prophecy can't break ranks. It cannot break the law. So everything must be, you can't point to a scripture and then do something opposite. That's not precept upon precept, y'all. That's just reaching and grabbing, cherry picking. So y'all, we're gonna get some understanding of Israel wilderness protest, because we're coming upon those days again, that when the chaff must be separated from the wheat. Y'all, so all Israel ain't Israel when you understand this from a spiritual walk first. That who you think may be your brother, you'll have to understand what constitute a brother or a sister.
That's right.
And that's the keeping of the commandments.
Yes, sir.
If you love me, keep my commandments. You can't hate your brother and say you love the Lord.
Right.
Because there's a breaking of the commandments somewhere. You know, now there's something called perfect hatred that we'll get to, so that you know that there's a line you cannot cross with hating. It's called perfect hatred. And that's where you hate those that hate the Most High. So you have to make sure whoever you warn with, before you talking about I hate, you got to make sure they hate the Most High. And Satan hates the Most High. And he proves it every day that he hates. So that's so far the only enemy you're able to, what we call, truly say the word hate out of your mouth, because anything else, it has to be along those lines of somebody saying, I hate y'all God. You know, because of this. So then, you know, you're really at a point where, y'all, let's not get it misunderstood either. It's like you can get into man worship, and those are lines of hating our God. It requires perfect hatred, because they're what we would call a felony with the Most High, to man worship. So we want to understand that as well. You can man worship, and he said, I'll take the breath out of your body for that. So y'all, we want to be clear on what we're stating today, you know, about protest amongst ourselves, because race wars is never a war between a group of people. Race wars are nations fighting within themselves. It's that race warring with each other. So we've never been in a race war with this nation or any other nation. Those were massacres. No, we ain't never had enough weapons to talk about being in a war with anybody. And when they go to war, they don't say we finna have a race war with China, do they? No, they say we finna go to war with the nation of China. So we get it understood, y'all, but Israel is in a personal war within itself, a race war, y'all, about this nation and who the Messiah is and what order he's from. Y'all, we can't get lost in the sauce, or it's gonna be trouble for us, y'all. So because it's times now that we're in the last days, the love of many gonna wax cold, y'all. We gotta make sure our hot spirit don't turn to candle wax. If we do, y'all, it's gonna be trouble, it's gonna be fighting, it's gonna be murmuring, and y'all, what we're searching for is practicing for an ignorant-free zone. And that's where you can have a good time and ain't nobody hollering, oh, they fighting again. We can't get used to that and talking about going to a kingdom where that ain't gonna be allowed. So your walk can't be in vain, y'all, but let's get this started. What you got, bro?
I got a question about when you said about hating our God.
Right.
Real quick, I watched a video last night where this Gentile man was standing on the street corner, you know, teaching the word of God. He was by himself, and I knew he was in a gay community because the street was painted with a rainbow.
Right.
And this girl came up to him and told him to get out of their neighborhood. She don't want him there teaching, you know, about God.
Right.
And he said, well, I'm trying to help you, ma'am, and possibly help you, save you from going to hell. She said, I'd rather go to hell than stand here and listen to you talk about Jesus.
Well, right. And see, but a lot of that is, you know, we have to be careful. Do we accept the white man because he said it to another white person that, you know, they're bad behavior and they hate God? Once you accept him telling them that, you got to accept how he's teaching the word. Because he's saying go to hell, he's passing judgment.
No, he's saying help her from
not going to hell. But what I'm saying is, from not going to hell is the grave. Shalom, y'all. But what we're talking about is the lake of fire. Very good point, though, bro. What we're talking about, y'all, in these last days, because if they're coming correct, they're coming correct. Come on up right here. So, y'all, we want to get that clear.
I don't even know why you was walking back there.
Right.
You're taking a long way.
Taking a long way. Yeah. Y'all, it's called the Lazarus diet. But y'all, let's get right to it. Ezekiel 20:33, y'all, because prophecy, the Most High said, and Messiah said, I did not come to destroy the law or the prophets. So the prophecy of Ezekiel 20, for us to put that information out there, y'all, because there's so much stuff flying across right now. Donald Trump is y'all, and it's this 400 years and the end of slavery. And y'all, look, it may be at another level than we think, and they just pulled down an Albert Pike statue, put a rope around its neck and set it on fire. I'm trying to wonder how you set concrete on fire.
Like, how the hell concrete burn?
But they had it burning, boy, with a rope around its neck and then hung it. So y'all, are we getting to the point that where this nation is getting to its end, that they are burning its mighty men?
Right.
You know, or are they setting us up for something greater to pull us in to make us think there's some equality coming, only if it's for the mark of the beast. Because y'all, everything that's going on out there, y'all, they have not once yet said the problem is relating to our past condition. Ain't no pastor out there quoting Deuteronomy 28, everything but turn there, and they're just saying the fault of the nation, but they're not giving the nation any way to repent.
Right.
Any way to turn. You're saying lock up police is not the answer, so to speak, for why we're in this condition. The problem is why. Why do they hate us so much? That's the problem, y'all. If we don't get to the point and give some understanding, and you got so-called spiritual men out front and they're not telling it. They're asking them to stay in the same condition. If y'all just punish the police like y'all punish us, then everything will be better. No, it won't. Because that's not the rules of prophecy. And y'all not to cut y'all, but y'all have to understand this Black Lives Matter has some writing in it, just like the civil rights movement. There's a lot of homosexuality, same-sex, transgender. There's a lot of that written into the bill that they won't change. So in essence now, do the preacher now start telling them, well, we can't have that, we can't march for that, or do you march with that on the ticket as well? Because what we gonna get in today, gonna say you cannot find justice in marching for law breaking of the Most High. What you got, sis?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking when you just said about SCRS is weird.
Yeah. It says sometimes. I threw you off because see, I be talking too long. You should have did like this time out. I lost my thought.
A lot of the
Okay.
ministers, they do away with the Old Testament.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go in the Old Testament to let people know why we're in this condition.
Right.
So they're jumping to the New Testament, and like you said, they're including a lot of them are including everybody.
Right.
in there. So if they do away with the Old Testament, nobody will ever know this is the reason why we're in this condition that we're in. And that's
Right.
the reason why I got a curse on them.
Right.
And that's the fear of what they have them under the law, the fear of the law. See, they have them fearing God's commandments. But the law is in the New Testament, because that's where we're going to go today, that where he's telling you the fruits of the Spirit in the law, he's going to say, Paul going to say the same thing. You know, so they love Paul, they just don't like when he say keep the law. That's a problem to them. He's double talking himself.
Because they don't understand.
Because they don't understand he never got rid of the law, the priesthood change. So y'all, we're gonna go ahead and y'all get started. Ain't gonna tarry no longer. Ezekiel 20:33, y'all, because we need to understand the prophecy so that we don't go off, y'all. A lot of things are happening out there, y'all. We about to see sky shows. Elon Musk done launched a rocket. Now, how do you give a businessman okay to go in outer space?
Right. I always wondered that.
You
A
know, you
straight-up
got
businessman.
I mean, this could cause a lot of problems, couldn't it?
Don't work
You
for the
know,
government at all.
nothing. You just got to
I
come
ain't
in.
good at
Yeah.
Same way they got the brain surgeon over here.
Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah, I guess you can expect anything. You say the same reason you put a brain surgeon over the HUD project, Homes for the Urban.
It ain't doing nothing.
Right. Urban development. So y'all, let's get right at it. Ezekiel 20. We'll start about 33, y'all. And this was the comparison of what was going to happen to us. It's the end of, thank you, sis. It's the end of Deuteronomy 28 to walk through that. So y'all, it has to mirror that according to this prophecy. It must mirror. It cannot go aside. That means you cannot be caught up in mixed up priesthoods. Go ahead, bro. What is 33, or do you need to bag it up a bit? 20, 33, you want to bag it up, or we good right there? We can get right to it since we're a little bit behind.
30.
30?
I'd say 30.
Okay.
Yeah, 30.
Let's go ahead. And y'all, we're going to see a lot of things that we're going to see today that where we are being re-instructed and re-educated in the wilderness of the people with the law at the beginning, y'all. We're not talking about Mount Sinai priesthood. We're talking the same laws, but a different priesthood, the order of Melchizedek. Go ahead, bro.
He's trying to take it back to one.
I got you.
No, we gotta speed it up. No, we don't take back one yet.
We ain't
Go ahead. Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 30.
What it say?
Wherefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers?
After the manner of who?
Your fathers.
See, so there's a pollution after the manner of our fathers. See, you can walk and march all through Black Lives Matter, but nobody knows why they're killing like they're doing.
Right.
You say, well, all you need to do is just make everything equal and slavery will go away. No, there has to be a recompense. Somebody has to talk about recompense of the Lord. How you got a preacher there and he's not even saying in the Bible, throughout all the Bible, I will avenge you.
Right.
You never hear that out of their mouth, that the Most High will avenge you. So go ahead, bro.
And commit ye whoredom after their abominations. For when ye offer your gift, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, said the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you.
So the Most High is telling us because we polluted ourselves, y'all, and we offer to fire, that's sacrifice to Molech.
Yeah.
So we practice that into the idols. Molech is a statue. And you put your baby, your offspring on that statue. And you offer that as a sacrifice to the devil. So that's worship. We got a lot of people saying what's idol worship is just having something like, if you got this sitting on the dashboard of your car, oh, that's an idol, that's diamond, that's something, boy, that's the cotton ball cylinder. Boy, you practicing witchcraft.
That little Hawaiian lady.
Everywhere we look in the scripture, even when we're looking in Exodus 20, and we start off with the second and third commandment, it's telling us, don't make no graven images and bow down.
Right.
And then it says to worship them. That means there's a set of written instructions so you'll be able to worship it. Because you ain't worshiping it like a loose cannon or a lawless person. You know, how do you worship something you don't have instructions for? How can you tell somebody else, how to worship that with no instructions? So all idol worshiping come with instructions. Just like, I'm just saying that due to the fact that a lot of times people say, the award show, we're giving out idols. We're not giving out no instructions how to worship that trophy. For the best rap singer, there's no instructions that come with it and say, thou shalt put it up on the highest mantle. Thou shalt wipe it continuously at least 3 times a day. Thou shalt chant wonderful works to it and thank it for your gift. Ain't none of that coming, so it ain't idol worship. It is what it is. A gift for somebody giving you a good gift. The script say, if you being evil can give good gifts to your children, how much more the Father? He called them good gifts. He just said you were evil. It ain't no idol worship. We ain't idolizing nobody. We ain't say everybody stand up and bend down and give this brother an applause. Now hit them notes again so they'll know why they on their kneecaps. Sing.
Lazarus?
Right. Yeah. It ain't none of that, y'all. It's what it is. A brotherly or sisterly award for thank you for uplifting the souls of Israel with song. And with voice. Come on, boy. Now, if you could sing like you read, we may be on to something. All right, y'all, let's get it. Go ahead.
Verse 32.
What it say?
You gotta stop.
And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say. We will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
So that's why we have to be careful of this march that's going on, because we setting it up to serve wood and stone. They ain't named a God. There ain't nobody walking with scriptures. Back in the day, you used to see John 3:16, didn't you?
Yep.
Well, them ain't out no more, are they?
With a rainbow afro.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. No, you would see posters,
Right, they
John
would do it,
3.
right.
Y'all
Yeah.
seeing any even John 3:16 posters ain't even out there.
Not a one.
So there's no instructions for where we're marching to. It's just like all of us just decided to go march down Kings Highway, and by the time we get to Children's Hospital sweating and soiled up, then somebody say, well, where we going to? Shit, I don't know. We was following him.
Blind leading the blind.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
See, that's what I was talking about, man.
Yeah. What's that, bro?
Is that
They got your pot over there.
I still don't understand why they all of a sudden this year are making a big deal about Juneteenth. They've known about it since,
Juneteenth.
right, the abolition of slavery, but why is it important now?
It's important now because they're pacifying.
Right.
They're giving everybody something to be, but this is a bigger deal. They're saying now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it a federal holiday. What does that got to do with our truth these days or why we're here?
Right.
Juneteenth ain't gonna fix the problem.
And then they're gonna give you off with pay.
Right. Well, look, we're saying giving you off with pay. All understand that. Thank you for that as well. But how is that going to satisfy what we're crying about? And that's killing y'all, because y'all have to understand all these changes. Ain't nobody, the gavel ain't hit yet and said guilty.
Right.
All the gavel done is say you're under arrest. So don't get your hopes up that high, y'all, because they give many gifts to satisfy you.
Yeah.
They'll give you all of these gifts, but when it comes down to it, like Trump said today, I'm going down there to where they burn them nigga headquarters up.
Yeah.
Let me say, I'm gonna start saying Negro, cause I told we had a sister, y'all sister contacted me from Nigeria, and she got a young daughter, so we'll watch our language a bit more, and saying nigga versus Negro. It'd be a little bit more acceptable. So, yeah. So, or however, that we gotta always remember our short leggers, and we don't want them to hear it stinging from us, and then we're saying they can't say it. They can't say it. Let's not get that. Let's get that understood. It's just that if we say it, it has to be to a point to where it says, "Let no evil communication come out of your mouth," and that means to talk about it in a light that's going to be offensive to somebody. We say that word just like we say African American. They all bywords and proverbs. A name to be called by other than Israel.
Right.
So let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
We're in verse 33.
As I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out.
So we see this prophecy as part 2. It's a dual prophecy because what we got here is that he's saying, I'm going to gather you from all the nations. That's not talking about the first one in that Egypt. It's just to the nation that's set up like that Egypt. So he's going to pull us out of that nation wherever he sent us. So this part 2, and it's letting us know what time period we're in. Go ahead, bro.
Change it, 38.
Yeah.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people.
Into the wilderness of the what?
Of the people.
So y'all, we can't run off to no wilderness and separate yourself from that. He's saying I'm gonna bring you out into the wilderness of the people. He told us, he said, I'm gonna send you out sheep among wolves. Be wise as a serpent, but what? Harmless as a dove. So y'all, we understand our rules. We're in the wilderness already. It's already locked and loaded. What we're learning in this wilderness, a re-education of the order of Melchizedek. Just like we relearned the priesthood of Aaron, where the instructions was written down. Now y'all, we already got the written instructions, y'all. We've been had them a long time. Now it's time to apply them to your heart and to your mind. That where you are searching for that ignorant free zone. Who invited him? You don't want to have to keep saying that, because when that's said, it's said at a fever pitch and they're pointing to that individual. And he's usually standing there with probably a pea stain in the front and broken furniture, and somebody else threatening to send him to the funeral home. You can't have that at every event, and especially before the unlearned. Go ahead, bro.
And there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, said the Lord God.
So he pled with them in the land of Egypt. Y'all, let's understand that. We wasn't going out of Egypt when the pleading started. Mark your doorposts. If you don't, this what's going to happen. That happened in Egypt, did it not? So whoever didn't mark their doorposts, it said the plagues got them, didn't it? And we had never left out of Egypt yet. Y'all, now we're to the point that where we're hearing, mark the doorpost of your heart with the truth, because you're in the wilderness of the people. You're around, we're mixed around all nations. And when you understand what happened in the wilderness of Egypt, we just wasn't wandering and stopping and going. Do y'all know we was battling with nations? We were fighting and scrapping for our way back home. But now it's more spiritual, because we're dealing with supernatural power. We're dealing with witchcraft at high levels, y'all, and y'all just ain't gonna understand what we're saying until we start to see this sky show and the wickedness that's gonna abound. The internet is loaded with how to serve other gods. Israelites falling off by the handfuls of serving gods of wood and stone and man worship. Israel has been, and judgment gonna start the house of Israel first. So that's why he's saying, I plead with you first. Y'all got to obey me before I ask another nation to obey me. Shalom, Jeremiah. That's what has to happen first, because it still has to show the other nations, this is who gonna be in charge. If this is who gonna be in charge can't get along with each other, what the other nations gonna say? Let's get it, y'all. Go ahead, finish that up.
37.
What it say?
And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
Right?
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
I will bring you into what?
The bond of the covenant.
See, y'all, this is talking about a marriage again. Y'all, if y'all don't understand what this total walk is, it's talking about making yourself ready to be part of the wedding ceremony with Messiah. If you thinking anything other than that, you wasting your time in this walk. This is prepping yourself to be looked at as a bride. And look, all you women out there that know that, you know that's called your day. You don't want no trouble on that day, do you? That uncle who like to start trouble, is he gonna be there? No. Already. That, and look, that was on the RSVP invitation. And if Earl think he coming, hell no. Send that back to us so we know you coming. Where we at?
Verse 38.
Yeah.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
Right.
And them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn. And they shall not enter into the land of Israel.
They shall enter in with that foolishness.
They shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
So we see that there's a bond of a covenant. He's going to bring us back into a covenant. So that means we're going to be remarried, because he gave us a writing of divorcement in Jeremiah. 3rd chapter, Jeremiah, the 8th chapter, all throughout that it tells us he gave us a writing of divorce. He said, I had to divorce y'all, but nobody else can marry us, and nobody else gonna marry us. They like, you know, that's his bride he threw away. So no one has married us, y'all. So he can remarry us. If somebody else married us, then the Father can't take us back. Those are the rules. So America say, no, we ain't marrying you. That's why they won't make the covenant with us. They keep telling you, okay. It's like a man just keep promising a bride, I'm gonna marry you one day. Girl, why you keep bugging me? I told you in 2029.
Say it, man.
20 years later, you're saying the same.
Same thing. So it's fake promises. We gonna make y'all equal one day. We gonna make y'all equal one day. See, don't you understand that's what a marriage covenant is? It's one flesh. It's not a 3/4 flesh. It still has rules of order, but it's still one flesh, ain't it? We finished that, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
done.
38, right?
Okay, he got 38.
Yeah, we done.
So y'all, we're gonna get right to some things we're gonna see also while they were being trained in Numbers 11 about the old law. What we're gonna see is the first 10 commandments got crushed. He had to go back up. Y'all know Moses did 240 days and 240 nights. Then we had to get another set of the Ark of the Covenant. And he had to rewrite our certificate, so we see a double writing there. Now we got to go through the same thing again with us under the order of Melchizedek, since Christ was crucified and resurrected. That set the order. Everybody is on the pace in the wilderness of the people, because that's when we got scattered to the four corners of the earth. So y'all, we are in the wilderness among the people. You're not going to another location and hide out for 3.5 years. You're already in that location. Where you gonna go that they wouldn't find you? And you're talking about believers. Have y'all read Revelation 6 and 9? It say not only the 144,000, but I saw another number, which no man can number, of all kindred, nation. This gonna be a problem. You talking about what body of land you gonna get half of planet Earth in and hide? All right. Let's get it, y'all. Numbers 11 chapter. Anybody got any questions so far? Y'all got any questions, sister? Y'all good? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 1. Can we start? Numbers 11:1.
Yeah. And y'all, this is, we're going to see some things that's teaching Melchizedek, because what it's teaching is the increase. Y'all have to understand, Aaron was set to decrease. And what I'm talking about is that priesthood, where men or an intercessor that first had to sacrifice for their sins and then yours. Messiah is the only high priest. He did it once. We can't go back and put him back on the cross and say, no, do it again for us because we didn't see it 2,000 years ago. Let's get some up.
I read
Numbers 11 and 1.
11, chapter 11, verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
So fat mouthing and murmuring, why did we come out here, Lord? Why are you allowing this to do this to us, y'all? If they say not guilty, you're going to hear the murmuring that this is talking about. They're going to be ready to just join them in at the point. Look, half the Black Panthers work for the government. Bobby Rush still, y'all know he was a Black Panther? He a state rep or something, ain't he?
It was his office that while the rioting was going, about 13 police officers broke into his office.
And was sitting there eating
They were sitting there chilling,
popcorn and-
yeah, sitting on the couch.
watching
and stuff.
TV.
Right, looking out the window,
Watching the
waiting on
riot.
their phone
Yeah.
while the riot going on.
So y'all, we understand. Right, they did. Understand what he told them that's the code. But y'all, what we're understanding here is the leaders that have to be out front. Y'all, we have to have an inside man. But they cannot be the Dathan. There's two type of Israelites that were on the inside. We had Dathan and Korah now. Them was the ones who brought that same drama out to the wilderness. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They were wise enough to put blood on their doorposts because that's how they got out of Egypt. But they started that same old BS in the wilderness, the same thing. Man, what we doing out here ain't nothing to eat here. See, I told y'all we shouldn't have left, and y'all, the same exact thing is about to come to pass here. Because if they say not guilty, you're gonna hear them say, Lord have mercy, and a lot of them are gonna turn their back on the Bible. So let's get a little bit more to
that's
show.
something else.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched.
So he sent an intercessor, Moses. He's saying, if you follow my lead, I told y'all just talk to Moses. Moses will talk to me. And they agreed upon that because they said, you go talk to him. We can't, ooh boy, the way he rumble earthquakes and shake mountains, we don't even want to see his face. You just talk to him. So we agreed to that. And we agreed to it the same thing if you agree that Messiah is the unblemished lamb. We agreeing that he can go talk to the Father for us. If you don't agree to that, then you're in the wrong line of work, so to speak. You need to get out of here because other than that, the script say you're condemned already. So where we at?
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them.
So y'all, this is the first trick that the Antichrist gonna do. He gonna make fire come down. See, this is a sign he's an imitator. So Messiah, fire come down and burn them rebels up, y'all, and they had to name the place. Just like he named Sodom and Gomorrah. Then when fire come down, it was named as the place that got burned up.
Yeah.
So this same name on her, this is the place that got burned up by the Lord. So the other nations are feared. If you don't understand that and you don't understand what you're marching in, your march is just saying, look, we understand this group right here, this group of men, they want to be transformed into women. That's in the bill, we marching for them too. This group of women right here who's growing beards and mustache, they on the bill too. They life matter too, which it does in the sense, but where's the, they're in a, what you're doing now is you're doubling up their death. So not only are they're gonna get it for their skin color because they can't change that, but now they're dealing with that iniquity which is being legalized and protected. Y'all think about a murderer being protected. I'm talking about he just killed old women and his guard standing outside his house. See old lady paying her electric bill, just walk up and blow her brains out. And the police right there protecting her. That's the same thing this bill would be doing when you're accepting bad behavior that can't get in the kingdom. Y'all, this is what we're talking about. This is not our world. I want you to understand that we just in the world. We're not of the world, we're just in it. If this was our world, we would fight like the Messiah said.
Right.
We're gonna fight for our kingdom. So we have to understand there's a line or a limit that we can't go across with this nation. And that means don't be caught up that thinking you must do something, you
Right.
must march too.
Right.
Or you must go out and vote to try to make a change.
Well, y'all have to understand that he never told us not to do anything. He said just be careful of what you do. Look, voting for a president ain't gonna relieve it, but voting to make sure they pick up trash is a plus. See, he ain't never told us not to vote. He just said be careful of what you vote for. You know, so you vote locally, that's good, because if they say we're gonna pick up trash once a month, that's gonna be a problem. I got bags sitting outside the trash can once a week. That's a problem. You add 21 more days onto that of trash in Israel.
Right.
You get 3 bags just on the street on Coke Brilliant, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And then you let them just be buck wild with trash and ain't no burning laws to get rid of trash. Do you know what trash brings? Do you know why New York lead the world in rat infestation? All them trash bags out there, I say, is it a picture where trash bags ain't on the front like that all week long? Trash. I'm talking about trash piled up. Now the rats had turned to cannibalism because the restaurants been closed. They're eating up each other. So that means when they get a taste of some human flesh, they're gonna call their buddies. Don't leave that baby in that room by herself with jelly on her fingers. Don't be rough. What you got, sis?
So you know how people be talking and they're like, when you witness something like this, like this police doing this to people that look like us. And so you keep thinking like, should you do something because, you got to protect our home, but then what is your home? Because, we were enslaved by people that look like us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how do I know you one of us?
Right.
So the whole thing is, sometimes I'm offended by it, because if you do that to him, you do it to my son, you
Absolutely.
do it to my dad,
Right.
you do it to me, but then we're not really the same. So sometimes I wonder, like, what are you supposed to protect in that sense?
Well, see, and like that, he hears Israel crying out. Moses, a man was running to Moses, and it was an Egyptian. I want you to think about this. This all black people, so it's good. It's saying all black lives don't matter, because the first black lives that was ruling over was called Egypt. Them was black faces.
Exactly.
So a man was running. When you get into the book of Jasher, it breaks it down, the 78th chapter, that where that man that Moses killed and hid in the sand, that Egyptian, he had just raped the Israelite's wife in front of him.
That's why Moses killed him.
And the man was running, and he was running after him to kill him, so he couldn't tell nobody. He just happened to see Moses and run into Moses. And he said, this what he did. He did this. So, and then the dude, the Egyptian, didn't care. He was just going to buffalo his way on through. He like, Moses, I don't care about you and Pharaoh. You ain't no Egyptian. And Moses put him to death, and then hid him in the sand. But when it was found out, Moses had to leave. You know, but that's what we're talking about, when the protection may be like that, that you have to, it has to be an injustice like that. But look, this the deal. Moses slayed that Egyptian. If you ain't gonna slay the police, ain't no need you interrupting.
Right.
That's what Moses did in the kingdom. Y'all, we always got a set of examples to go back to. If none of them ran up there and they didn't start beating that police that had his knee on him with their cell phone and beat him unconscious, and everybody else started pulling out their cell phones and got them other ones, and they took off running and looking back, and the cell phone mob was behind them.
They ain't going out there with the right agenda. The
So
only time to march is when it's time to go to war.
Yeah,
If
and-
you ain't ready to go to war, what is you out there for?
Hey, look.
You just chanting and making signs. No justice, no peace.
Right.
Then you go home and be peaceful.
Or else
Yeah.
what?
Or else what? See, and that's what we talk, or else what?
Right.
I mean, we gonna march tomorrow. Well, the problem is there's still a white face on the money. You can only march as long as the money is available. Ain't nobody gonna be marching when the money stops and the stores are emptied out. What are you gonna do then? What are you gonna be marching for? The march is gonna be who got some food,
Right.
Jew or Gentile. We finna bust in there because hunger has set in.
Yeah.
So y'all, it's a different level when you're prepared for this. They're saying, just let us, if the police shoot us, just lock them up and we'll deal. Y'all have to understand what they're saying. They're not saying, and they must be found guilty. You're saying justice is just get them in the courtroom. That's where your justice stops. You're not saying, and they must be found guilty, because if they ain't, what then?
Right.
What we gonna do then? Now here it comes, no justice, no peace. Then where's the drama coming from at this point? Y'all, it's a bigger war than we think, y'all. And y'all, it has to go down as we just read in Ezekiel 20:33 on down to 38. It has to go that same way. Who got a question? You good? Oh, go ahead, sis.
No,
That the Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. It's pushing the LGBT.
That's what it's doing. The civil rights did that.
If you do the research on Black Lives Matter, it has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Well, it's sponsored, it's sponsored by George Soros.
Oh, there
Right.
you go.
And
There you go.
these people coming into communities and insinuating riots, which we do join.
Yeah.
But they have people coming in,
We got police officers with bricks and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, they're paying.
Right, absolutely. It's designed for rioting, which we were told not to be a part of, because rioting got us in trouble in this Numbers 11. We're talking about, y'all. We're going to see some things when a race war. But y'all, this is at another level, y'all. This ain't happening in our neighborhoods. Y'all, they have white people burning up in Utah. They're burning up in South Dakota. There's one place that only had 13 blacks among 1,000 white people, 700 to 1,000. They are marching there. None of the 13. And they are punching them in the head. They're shooting at them, y'all. So we're about to see civil war again about us. So you need to be in the right position when this play coming on and marking the doorpost of your heart, because y'all, it's including everybody. We just saw the rebels will be purged out. So even if you get your justice you're looking for, we still got to come out of here. You still got to come out.
They still finding us hung from trees.
And still, y'all, it's still what it is because it don't stop at year 399. The punishment was for 400 years. It didn't stop in 1865.
Yeah.
We were not free then. The punishment said 400 years. 1865, that only gets you 3+, don't it? If that much. So you can't cut it off because they decide to say it's cut off. They just said, look, we just gonna stop unlawfully killing you. If you catch us doing it, then you can take us to court, but you still got an uphill battle. So what I mean about people on the inside, Dathan was on the inside, but he was against us. He's like a Clarence Thomas, David Clark. He's like them one time. But you got Daniel on the inside. You got Joseph on the inside. See, Joseph, how so many things you have to understand. Barak is still an Egyptian prince or king because he's from Ham. So he knew Joseph, basically why black people loved him. He loved Joseph. He married to Joseph, offspring, so to speak, Michelle. So that Pharaoh loved us, even though he still let us know, well, y'all in second in command, just like Joseph, just like Daniel, just like Shadrach, Meshach. Y'all not in first command, so y'all are doing the business of Egypt. You're not doing the business of the Israelites. We're going to give y'all breaks, but we understand who y'all God is, and we ain't going to get in the way of that. But you work for Egypt. Your paycheck says, pay to the order of Joseph from Pharaoh. Let's not get that twisted. Daniel, the same way in Babylon. But then you do something for them, they know that God is with you. They say, your God is bigger than me. Then they say, anybody, then they make a proclamation, y'all.
I know Nebuchadnezzar got time to write his name out on
Yes, sir. So y'all, we want to understand that those that are on the inside, those are what the Spirit say, and we have helps in governments. Those are the ones that's maneuvering, fighting for us on the inside. That's how the Klan got all of their stuff on the inside. They sent David Duke to the house. They send this Luciferian to the house, and they send this one. So if you don't get nobody inside to battle with them and know what's going on, like we had Esther on the inside, Esther just was converted with her big cousin Mordecai. He was actually her cousin, not her uncle. He just was old enough to be her uncle. So she came back, what I need to do now? He said, go do this. Go do this. Next, no, tell them this. Tell them that. And then proclamations are made to anybody that attacks Israel like Haman did. They shall be put to death. Y'all, this is what we're talking about, the wrath. If you ain't gonna put nobody to death or have them put to death for attacking us, we wasting our time or marching. They have to be an example to the rest of them. Now, if they're gonna show the example, there needs to be a proclamation that they're saying, any police that kill anybody, we're gonna try you just like you just tried that Negro in the middle of the streets. We're gonna, and that's gonna straighten them up. Because y'all, they got body cameras on and still do what they do. What they care about a body camera? My blood is up. I got my foot on this boy after we kill him in that Wendy's lot. I got my foot on him just like the pictures when they kill an elephant, they always have their foot on it. No matter what they kill, they put their foot on it. Take the picture, take the picture.
Yep.
Where we at? Numbers 11. What you got? Two back.
Question here. All right, let me get back to it because I just our brother in the chat, Yazia asked, Tobias, ask Daniel about Hosea chapter 2, verses 14 to 23, pertaining to the second Exodus, and also about Revelations 12, 14 and 17. Revelations 12, 14, 17, talking about how Satan opened his mouth and tried to flood the woman out, or whatnot, in the wilderness, and then,
Right.
Yeah.
But look, ain't he doing that now? Everybody hooked on 5G. See, when you quit looking at it as a small place, that's why we went back and says it's gonna be a punishment. You were in the wilderness we weren't even in the wilderness of Egypt, we were in the wilderness of Zin. We left Egypt. It's the wilderness that we went to. He said, but you're already in it now. You've been cast away to it. You're just like we went to Egypt, y'all. That wasn't a deal that we went to Egypt because we just decided, man, what do y'all think? You think, how would you guys like living in Egypt? And Jacob took his 70 souls down to Egypt. No, it was famine. It was where the eating was at. We had a little paper, but we had to go there. But the whole deal was set up. Joseph was already there to greet us, to take care of us in that land, just like we're being taken care of now. This land, because the wilderness is the world now. Get it out of your mind that America is the only place, then, and then still keep letting come out of your mouth, we scattered to the four corners. It don't make sense, y'all. And you keep pointing back to America. Yes, America has the bulk of Judah. We know that because his neck was in there, just like get your knee off my neck instead of rhyming it like Al Sharpton was doing. He should have just pointed right to Deuteronomy 28 and the people would have understood, but he's got it now like it's going to be in a rap song. Get your knee off my neck. Get your knee off my neck. Where does that come from? What book you read, what is it going to do that make them people fear and say we better get our knee off their neck? They finna turn to their God. But they looking for claps, ambulance chasing, and they chase for the gift. They like, look, they may not lock him up, y'all, because you know why? You know what you're up against? No outside prosecutors. All prosecutors work for the state. So when you understand that, unless you get somebody on the inside, a prosecutor that can work like Johnny Cochran, you're gonna get the Dathans that's prosecuting for them. And they ain't gonna bring the case as strong as they need to do it. They're gonna bring it enough so it looks like we're playing fair and we don't upset both sides. Cause y'all gotta think about this too. If all the police call in, y'all think that's gonna be freedom? Y'all know who y'all next door neighbor is. You know who that Negro is across the alley. Your gate wasn't open yesterday. How did your gate get open soon as his car pull up? And no police? Y'all know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of burying in the neighborhood. Y'all, killing went up in St. Louis since the virus.
And we've been in the house.
And you've been in the house and killing goes up.
That's the little.
Now, I want y'all to picture that with no police. It's one thing if we said give us all brother police, but I want y'all to think about no police. That means you are going to get to exercise those weapons you got on your own. Ain't no white folks coming down here in these projects. It's going to be your own. Through all of this chaos, y'all, the killing ain't stopped. So it's a riot. And when it riot, that means we got all the thoughts of the wicked out there on the streets. Amongst the ones who righteous are righteously fighting for the things, but you got this anarchy right here. Because you just let that group in that says, I want to be a man. How you gonna stop him from protesting in his stilettos? Yeah. And if he's a karate expert, what you gonna say? We gonna use him to kick some police down? Go right for the juggler with the stiletto heel?
That's some gay bodybuilders.
Boy, let's get it. Where we at, y'all? Who got a question? Sit, Emo. Oh, you got one out there first? What you got, Emo? That was a question, y'all, but hope we answered that, because Numbers is talking about that Hosea, what he's speaking of. When you read the entire script, it's still coming back to the same thing. You can't have cross prophecies. It's talking about Babylon. This is just the daughter of Babylon. When you read Jeremiah 51, it talks about two Babylons. The 70-year one and this worldwide empire. It's a worldwide. 5G ain't just in America, is it?
No.
They're only putting towers up in America. So is Wuhan only in America? Or is Wuhan on the four corners of the earth? Where them locusts hitting at? Everywhere. So y'all, we are seeing them coming. Then they had a plague of frogs. They saying the problem is they're starting to get in the houses. I believe it was somewhere in Florida. Frogs is hidden on a high level. And they are getting in your house. Now when you go to fluff that pillow up and lay down and some get in your ear and say, cricket. Boy.
Put a warning in.
Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Let's speed it up, y'all. Who got questions? I'm sorry, Emo.
Would you say that
Are they using what to blood sacrifice?
Are they using this as and all this? Are they using this as a blood sacrifice?
Well, it's getting everybody. Y'all have to understand, Wuhan, they got white patients. They got Chinese patients. They got patients worldwide that's died. We're just, the numbers are higher, but it ain't like we can say ain't nobody else dying. You understand what I'm saying? So this is letting us know, it's preparing us for the Antichrist, who there's no regard for the rich or poor, free or bond. So all the Oprah Winfrey's, all the Bill Gates, all of them must come up under the plan. Because remember, their leaders got Wuhan. Prince Albert, all them over there, the Toronto one had Wuhan. You know, so what we're talking about is leaders getting to Wuhan. It's just more proportionally for us because we don't have the necessities to fight it off. Like everybody that's moving out of the cities, they're moving to like Martha's Vineyard and places out further out of the city. We ain't got money like that. See, they got beach houses and different things they go live in, away from the city, where the air is fresher. Not where everybody down here contaminated, got to ride the subway and got like this. So yeah, and then you got high blood pressure too and diabetes. It's ready to attack. So it's not just attacking us, y'all, it's attacking the world. But yes, us more, because the Most High want us to get ourselves in shape. So that viruses won't get on you like this. Y'all, it's a work we have to do. He just ain't gonna do everything for us. Show us where the water at, and then give us a ride down there, and we like, could you just in my mouth, please, Lord?
Just drop it on my tongue.
Thank you, Lord. And can you take me back home too? And can we stop and get a 2-piece? And my mama like Diet Pepsi, so we're gonna have to stop at the Dollar General too, Lord. Thank you. Right. What you got, bro?
It's true. That's why you have a society law. But the spirit behind the law is to take care of your body.
Right.
Ever since this been going on, I haven't seen. So I've seen so many black people, mainly black women, out there jogging and getting in shape. I ain't never seen as many black people out there getting in shape. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm always out there trying.
Well, like I'm saying, how long is it gonna last? Is it gonna just last because we got idle time? What happens when we go back to the norm?
Most of the distractions are gone.
Right, so when we go back to the norm, or is everybody gonna be in the same regiment that they are in now? You know, to get in shape. What are you getting in shape for, the famine? I mean, what you gonna be looking good standing there like that? They're like, look at them biceps and triceps, and then you hear from his stomach, oh, he in shape, all right, ain't nothing in his stomach. Yo, so we don't want to get in shape for the wrong reason. Let's get caught up, y'all. Let's get caught up. We good out there? Everybody good? Okay, go ahead, bro.
I went verse 4.
What it say?
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
So now this is telling you, it said a mixed multitude and the children of Israel. Is that two separate groups, or is that the same group?
That's two.
Because we got Israelites out here teaching that the mixed multitude was the Israelites that didn't obey. They wouldn't have made it into this point right here. It's clearly saying that the mixed multitude of other nations that was in Egypt said, we going with y'all. And that's the same thing it says in Exodus 2. It says, look, it says there went out 600,000 men besides women and children of the children of Israel, and also a mixed multitude. So who is the mixed multitude unless there's a 13th tribe? Because that was all the tribes, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So y'all, just like Numbers 15 say, one law for the stranger, one law for Israel. It's the same law. If you amongst us, you got to keep the law. Y'all heard what we just read, that the mixed multitude first said, those amongst us said, we need to go back to Egypt. You think they're going to follow Israel with the mindset Israel got now? Follow them where?
To jail.
Well, but I'm saying if they get what they want, who you going to put in charge of that group and y'all going to follow it, white folks?
Yeah.
Receive
with the
without-
mindset, still don't know who we are, still looking for revenge, some of them.
What's the boy name that got the movie made about him from St. Louis? That got a job at HUD or something and did all the fake time cards and got busted? That's
Oh, you talking about, yeah, one
so,
boy,
so
yeah.
like you said, he had a position and got in a position to do good. As soon as you got in that position, you just became as corrupt as everybody
Yeah,
else that was in that position.
Right, and that's what we got to be careful of, y'all. That's what we got to be careful about certain elections. We're not telling you not to vote. We're saying know what you're voting for. There's no electoral college votes for local voting. That's if you get this many people vote for you, you win. The president, there must be electoral votes. If you get 270, you the winner. They can have 3 million people vote for them and you can have 1,500. If you got all electoral votes, 270 of them, don't care nothing about them 3 million people vote. So that's what you have to understand. What does the electoral college do, or what does it prevent from happening?
Where is it at?
So y'all, you got to know everything that you're going to be doing when you get in here. That's why it says, give custom to customs. Who give the Lord what's the Lord.
Right.
The Lord never said we couldn't vote in a nation. It never said that. It said just know who you voting for and know why you voting. You can't be like the Pharisees was, who was Israelites, and said, Pilate, if you don't do what we say, we got Caesar number on lock. You gonna deal with him. Now this is an Israelite cussing out a Roman about the king of Israel. If you don't dislike him like we don't dislike our own, then we'll go tell the other white man on you. Cause we cool with him. It's this Israelite right here talking about changing the commandments. Now we getting paid around here. We got heifers on the side. And here he come with this noise. Now you get to Caesar or get to putting him to death, or we'll call Caesar. He said, you Negroes crazy. My hands is free of this. It said we turn Messiah over. And it says he was turned over to the Gentiles. Now, if the Gentiles are Israelites, did we turn the Messiah? Did the Israelites crucify the Messiah? Who stuck him in the side? Who nailed them nails in there? Was them Israelites? So how then is the Gentiles always Israel? And it says, the script say we turned him over to the Gentiles. Can't have it both ways. Now either it's some Gentiles right there, or you got Israelites in Gentile mindset. You must know the difference. Or if you take it as whole, then we turned him over to Israelite brothers. They nailed him on the cross. They the ones stuck the spear in the side. If you're calling everybody in the New Testament that says Gentiles, those were Israelites, you got a problem. Everybody that they took the law to was Gentile. Well, what about King Agrippa in Acts 28 when Paul, he said, you almost convincing me to be a Christian or Christ follower. He said, not only you, but your whole household. So was Agrippa an Israelite? Descendant of King Herod. Were they Israelites? And he's saying, you're convincing me to follow Christ like you're doing. See, y'all, they can't have it both ways. If you don't have the remnant that will serve you for eternity, who is that going to be if it ain't nobody left over from the other nation? Who going to be your servant? It's going to be you serving your own self, beating yourself like you want to beat them. When you done killed them and got rid of them, who going to do your 1,000 years for you? Pick out Theo. You look like you've been needing a whooping from the other side of the world. You gonna be my servant. I'm gonna beat the black off of you.
I'm gonna beat the chicken out of you,
boy. Boy. Come on, y'all. But look, we gonna see some of the chicken being beat out of these brothers in the wilderness. Same way. Let's get caught up, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 5.
Yeah.
All right. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely.
How we eat it?
Freely.
Uh-huh.
The cucumber.
Right.
And the melon.
Right.
And the leeks and the onions. and the garment.
So y'all, they're naming everything that's lawful on the list. We remember all that was in Egypt. Now you gonna bring us out here to the wilderness? Let's read some more.
But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
Now hold on here. We got angels' food right here. You're talking about going up there and the Lord fills me up every day. They say we ain't got nothing but this angel food. Snooks is gone. Deerbergs, ain't no Deerbergs. Ain't no that Chinese corner market is gone. All of that's in Egypt. All we got is this manna bread. Y'all want to talk about crazy. The manna bread, it's made to correct your insides. When we read right here, y'all, what it's consisted of, what's on it, and then we look up the qualities of what he's doing. You can't go, it's like the Day of Atonement, 24-hour fast. How do you eat up right until the sun goes down? You got a pair of binoculars, you still eating and chewing, not yet.
So you trying to see to the horizon.
Boy, look, till you eat it, till it goes down, now you ready to fast. You got enough food in you to last you for 3 months. No, you have to start fasting before you get to that point. Cut it off at lunchtime. Maybe just eat lightly, and then like this. This is what he was doing to the wilderness. Cleansing our bodies from all of that.
Wait, so
colon cancer and all of that.
If I eat manna bread, I have 6 pack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right.
So
Right.
many different things
But-
just came to mind.
Right. You'll have a 6-pack. That's right, Theo. But the only problem is your wife said I'm the only one sipping from it. Can't give a can to nobody else. So get in the room, take that shirt off again and pose in the mirror. I come in there, yeah, baby, you sure look good. You done slimmed all the way down. You can fit them slacks I bought you for your 30th birthday now.
6 pack of milk.
Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 7.
That's all we got to. Okay. I'm gonna be quiet then.
We know what it is.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the manna was as coriander seed,
Give me a coriander, y'all. Keep reading. I need that so we know what this is. Go ahead.
and the color thereof as the color of bdellium.
So give me both them two words as we keep reading, because it's very, very important that we understand what manna consisted of. And it's not just what you want to eat. Y'all, don't y'all understand, if your belly rules, you're gonna go back to Egypt?
Yeah.
Huh, y'all, we live to eat. You can't do that. You gotta eat to live. So there's a difference that where you just wake up and you wake up and the first thing, a cheeseburger, 3 bites, and that's the first thing go in your mouth before you brush your teeth. You live to eat. When you wake up, it's eating time. When you lay down, look, you just laid down, you were eating while you were watching TV. Look, it's still a piece of hamburger right here. You're like, where'd that come from? That's where you just nodded off chewing and it just fell right there. Riddick Bowe, the heavyweight champion that him and Holyfield had the 3 championship bouts, he had a kitchen built in his bedroom. I want y'all to think about this. He's in a mansion. He's tired of walking the long hallways or to pay for a butler. He said, install a kitchen in my bedroom. He had stainless steel refrigerators and them nice stainless steel stoves. Look like, you know, they cost about $100 grand. And it was loaded with ice cream, cookies and cake, breakfast. He turned a man into his 1 bedroom and get right back in the bed, y'all.
He could have just got 1 bedroom.
This, yeah, he could have. This was gonna train us, the manna bread was gonna train us. It first had to get us free of what we lust for. You couldn't keep lusting for Lay's. Because it ain't the potatoes, it's what they putting on the potatoes.
MSG.
So, you know, you keep saying we wanna go back, y'all. And everything they name here, the garlic, the onions, and things like this, is just to make the artificial food taste better. God's seasoning, the Most High seasoning, makes food taste better. But the problem is, you got to have some nutrients. You just can't have the seasonings only.
Yes, sir.
Got to have food that where you know the difference and be satisfied. And then y'all, you know the script say, look, don't thank the Lord until after you've eaten. You bless the Lord for the meal, but after you do this, and you say, Lord, have mercy. Boy, that was, See, because then you thank him because the soul is satisfied. But if you like this, if you say and give a long pretense of prayer before you eat and want to thank the hands that prepared it. And Sister Johnson, she's so wonderful how she stirred up the potato salad. And we want to give all these thanks to you. And then when you get through, Lord have mercy. Look over there. Did you bring that Pepsi AC with you? Oh, I feel like I'm about to die. Oh, this is about to kill me. And you just did all that thinking, and now
Right.
the naysayer looking like, boy, you in distress.
Thank you for obesity.
Go out to the car and get that ham I got. Look, he's about to die from eating that lamb. Go get my ham. Let's finish up, y'all. I ain't gonna stop no more. Did we get coriander?
You want coriander?
Sister, I know you know what that is. What is that, Emo Bob? Coriander.
It's just cilantro.
Cilantro?
Plant.
Cilantro.
And what does that do for us?
Cilantro is it's heavy metals and all toxins.
Out of your body. That's right. Give me coriander seed if you got it, bro. So Emo just gave us the name of it and what it does. It removes toxins. Go ahead. What did it say, Ariel?
It says coriander.
Hold it down, y'all. Here we go.
It's an herb.
It's a what?
An herb. Coriandrum sativum.
Yep.
Widely cultivated for its aromatic seed.
Sativa?
Huh?
Go ahead. Oh,
wait.
Boy, how you hear that? Go ahead.
It says,
Go ahead.
the dried ripe seeds of this plant
Right.
used especially as a condiment. That's what this one is.
Yeah, go ahead. Should be another one for healing and all that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Next under this is Corinth.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty much what it is. Just an herb for season.
So, but when you look up, like if you look up the Hebrew for it, it'll tell you coriander seed is good for inflammation, everything to cure you. And then the bedlam, why it was colored like that, when you look up bedlam, it tells you what it does too. It gets rid of arthritis. It get rid of all these things. So when we look it up, you may have to look it up in the concordance over there. It'll give a better detail.
It's not saying what it do.
Right.
It's saying what he said, basically.
Go ahead, sis.
Now, under my Strong's, it says a plant the seed of which resembles man.
Yeah, that's what man
Which resembles what?
resembles man.
Manna, right. So it resembles manna. So it's telling you what it looks like so you don't get it misunderstood. But when you look at what quality does, what the coriander seed does for you, this is why it's saying this is the key ingredient of it. This is why we got to give you manna. And not only this, but where's that in 2nd Ezra, where it says manna would taste like whatever you wanted it to taste like? Give me that real quick, y'all, so we understand that it wasn't taking the taste of what you were longing for out of your mouth. You can get the taste, but taste it when it's free of impurities. It's cooked perfectly. It's seasoned just right. It would taste like that when you ate the manna bread, and you wouldn't have to long for the best steakhouse T-bone. You wouldn't have that in your mind. I know I told y'all to go down there, but look, when we get to the wilderness, you got to shake that. Because that's still cooked only 90% like we're doing it, because they throw other things on the grill with it too. That's the only, even though it's on the grill and all the purity dropping in the fire, it's what else been on there at the same time. Just like any fast food restaurant, they don't bring out the special grill and say Hebrews in the house. Get us that Hebrew grill back to the back or you'll be fired. Get that grill up here. It's a Hebrew in there. Y'all ever experienced that at Taco Bell yet? Burger King, you ain't. So there's a certain line that we're still eating our food what's called defiled a bit.
You want that bdellium?
Yeah, what it say?
And this the bdellium, It's an aromatic gum resin similar to myrrh,
Right.
produced by various trees of the genus Commiphora of Western Asia and Africa.
So
A
it's
substance, you want us to?
No, go ahead.
A substance mentioned in the Bible,
Right.
variously interpreted to be carbuncle, rock crystal, pearl, or gum resin. Numbers 11 and 7.
So it gives that, and you see how it always gives one side of it, and then it gives the law. Every word, so that word etymology don't rule. It always tells you. This is why you know everybody know the law, because Webster said right here, here's the flesh part of it. But if you want to understand what it is, it's in Numbers 11 chapter. So the other one takes you back to the law, so you don't get it mixed up. Which one we're talking about? But you got that? Okay. So what we're talking about, y'all, as soon as he get that one, we're going to see what manner of bread will take about. But let's keep reading till he get that. Go ahead, y'all.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And the people went about and gathered it,
Uh-huh.
and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil.
Fresh what?
Fresh oil.
Uh-huh.
And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased.
He like, boy, we just whine about everything. We just keep whining about everything. He give us manna bread. Y'all see what I'm saying? He gave us what will sustain us, get everybody in the wilderness healthy. Look, how you gonna come in and still got diabetes into the promised land? You gonna limp across the finish line? There two people carrying you across the finish line. And you coming in there with the same thing, and then somebody drop your bag, you holler, go back and get my bag. You bringing medicine into the kingdom? Go back and get my bag. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me?
See, and that's what Moses is saying now. You know, this burden upon me. You know, it's similar to Messiah saying, you know, Eli, Eli, you know, lama sabachthani, you know, why have thou forsaken me? Moses is not saying you didn't put too much on me I can bear. He just said I wasn't schooled really on this level of people like this. And the Lord said, yes, you were. Messiah knew that, because he eventually said the very next thing that separated him from Moses, he said, but thy will be done. This ain't about how I'm feeling about this. You said I got to die, so this got to be it. And look, same situation. Same murmurers, wasn't it? Same Israelites causing the problem the same way they did with Moses. Same time, same wilderness, same thing where the cleansings is being. Messiah is cleansing everybody. If you join me now, you don't have to worry about the second resurrection. You can join me right now. Because do you think if he'd have said, but it's going to be another 2,000 years before you able to probably see it? There's been a lot of people walked away, but he told them, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow take care of itself. If you join me now, if you die tomorrow, you good with me. You better come on now. So it's the same pleading in the wilderness, but we refuse to accept it because we want to see somebody be the Most High and put his vengeance on this nation. The only problem is you want to be here after the nation has been put down. It says doleful and wild beasts gonna be here because ain't nothing gonna be left. Egypt been a dust bowl ever since. It's a tourist attraction. It ain't like nobody trying to bust the doors down in Egypt to live there. You may go and see the pyramids, but that's about it. I ain't heard nobody saying, let's run back down to Egypt and we'll sleep in the sand. Huh? Boy, you get cussed out, you get in the bed with sand on your feet. You got them socks on and then walking through. I mean, you picking up crumbs and ants and you just crawl right in the bed. Get on that turn. Let's get it. Where we at?
Verse 12. Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them?
See, so Moses asking, did I conceive these people? Did I come up with the children of Israel? But I'm gonna let them finish. I know they wasn't laughing already. Go ahead.
Have I begotten them, that thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the suckling child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers? When should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto thee, saying, give us flesh that we may eat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand, if I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of Israel, 70 men of the elders of Israel,
Right.
whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and the officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee.
Right.
And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
So right here what we got is he said find 70 of the elders. Did he say and have young Israelites out on the street corner hustling for them? Or did he say you need to get you 70 that you know you can count on? I'm going to give part of the spirit that you got, I'm going to give it to them, so they'll be doing supernatural things too, so they'll understand this, but it's so they can serve the people and take the burden off you. This means just putting the burden on the elders. We're going to split up these hard heads with y'all. This don't mean we're going to put the hard heads to where they got to serve you. No, you got to help Moses with these hard heads. You know, it ain't the other way around. That you start serving him, because what? He wasn't put there so you can serve him. You will never correct yourself. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 18. And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourself against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh, for ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out your nostrils.
Till it do what?
Come out your nostrils.
Be careful. Theo, go ahead.
And it be loathsome unto you.
See, and then it'll be loathsome unto you. He said, I'm going to give y'all so much meat, it's going to come out of your nose. You like it when people say, you and ate so much it's coming out of your nose, you know. He said, I'm going to do that to y'all because y'all holler for meat. I'm going to let y'all know what it's like that you want to eat meat every day. Y'all, meat is good, but you just can't do everything every day. You have to have a just balance in your system, so because certain things carry certain minerals, this have certain minerals, and this have, you need a just balance in your system. If it tips the scale, that even though it's lawful, it's going to show that you're eating too much for your body, and everybody's different. You have to know your body. So if you have to go to the doctor and he say, what's wrong? You like, I don't know. He say, well, I'm gonna run a couple tests. You know what that mean? That mean you don't know what he's doing with your blood or nothing like this. And then he's saying, oh, got a guinea pig. Okay, well, some new stuff out here called Booba. You know, and Booba, it'll stop that aching right there on that big toe. But boo-bye come with some side effects. And then the music start. Dripping vessel. Funk from under the arms.
Trojan.
Visible gas. Because you don't know what's wrong with you.
Your bowels may fall out.
Right, your bowels may fall out. But that big toe, you gonna be able to wear them gaiters?
But
You just gonna have a pamper on now. No.
what gives me the most when they say, or if you even experience death, call us.
Right, boy, come on, boy. Keep reading, bro. You know it's going crazy. Look, he found that. Where's that in?
It's Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon, y'all.
Chapter 16, verses 20 and 21.
I just want him to hit that real quick, y'all, so we get a better understanding from our other writings on what manna bread was. Y'all, if y'all don't understand the 7 days of unleavened bread, it's the same thing. It's getting you to get all of the rest of the bread with yeast and everything with yeast products out of your system for 1 week. Belt size gonna drop. Everything gonna drop. You may look and say, oh, that's what them house shoes look like. Because this stuff moved out of the way.
Why am I laughing?
What you got, sis? Go ahead.
So I just want to share something with y'all that us three did, and they did it for me. And she was looking for something, and she came across something. So I was diagnosed with epilepsy like a couple years ago. So I was never a person to take medicine, but I was taking the medicine because I actually was falling out. You know, so I was like, well, I don't want to kill nobody driving or whatever, so I'm gonna take it. But I used to always complain to them like, I cannot take this, and I feel dumbed down. Because we would Bible study, and I'm the reader of our Bible study, and I would be stumbling on words. And,
Right.
You know, I was, to me, I was
Lethargic.
Yeah, exactly. So I was on it for a while, but I was just taking it the way I wanted to. Like, I would take it here, won't take it for 4 weeks.
Right.
Then take it again, and you know.
You had made up your own rules for them. Yeah.
Basically. So she was looking, we might have been getting ready to do Passover, we was ready to do something, but she was looking for something for her own self, and she came across something for me, which was the epilepsy, and it was it in, remember, we wrote it down, it's probably not in my notes, but it was saying, it came across epilepsy, what you need to do, which is fast and pray.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what we did, and I stopped taking the medication. So during when we did it or whatever, during the time that we did it fasting for a week or whatever, and you know, during the fasting, like I felt all that stuff come out of me.
Right.
I literally felt it. I felt different. You know, I did get kind of nervous, and I had to jump on my face, like, you know, Father, forgive me. You know, because I was scared to go outside to drive. You know, one day I woke up and was like, ooh.
Right.
Is this that feeling coming on again? And I was like, oh no, the devil is a liar. And I jumped in my face and prayed, you know, and then I got up, and after that I was like, you know, because I can't live like this. You know, I'm not scared. He didn't put fear in me. He said to do this, you know, she didn't come across this for nothing. This was for us. This was for me.
Right.
So that's what we did, and I felt all that stuff coming up out of me. Like, you know, I was actually waking up like, what was that? Like, you know, and I'm like, damn, this is really coming up out of me. Like, you know, to the point that I was like crying, like, you really taking this off of me.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah,
I've been talking about it
yeah.
for so long, crying about it, and you finally gave it to, you know, through my friend to tell me, and it was just.
And the
like
key thing
amazing.
is you said through your friend to tell you so you know you're ill. Emar Ball or Levi Raphael can't help you at all unless you tell them what's ailing you.
Right.
Or she'll just try this, try that, try that. When you get through with trying that, you be in 10 times worse shape than you started because you don't know what you want.
Right.
Your eyes are bigger than your stomach.
Right.
So you have to tell her, and then she says, okay, this what you need, this will balance that out.
Right.
You see this right here? She said, I see them cookies, but ain't none of it. This all natural sweeteners. So you need to get some of that in y'all too. You know, I can't be a doctor and just let y'all do what y'all want to do. So we understand that. It's clear, y'all. But y'all, we have to understand when the Lord is cleansing us, he's cleansing us so the Holy Spirit can dwell in her. It can't dwell, and inside her cannot move unless it has a hamburger from Wendy's. Yeah, if I don't get that hamburger, I can't get going. And what you're saying is then the reason what medication do, why it brings anxiety on, is because it dumbs down your nerve endings, and it makes you calm like this. But what happened is when an event happens, your body is designed for adrenaline to kick in to handle a situation. But with it being blocked now, your body don't know what to do because it's in between you handling this situation and it's dumbed down. So it now they name that anxiety, but all that is you're trying to break back free. This causes a side effect of you're able to deal with an issue when you're on the meds. I'm not saying that meds don't help, but meds are there just to get you on track. And then you start following the pattern like you're supposed to. That's all they for. Like you're saying, fasting is the key. Go ahead.
I have to back them up on what they're saying. I started fasting 16 hours a day because I didn't think I could do it.
Right.
I found out fasting, I'm more alert, my mind is more clear. And I work a physical labor job.
Right.
I didn't think I could do it because I'm always constantly moving and jumping in and out of trucks and delivering and everything. And I can do it like a champ now, and I'm used to it. So, and it's like completely change your mindset when it comes to food. I can add some chicken.
Right. What?
Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
It didn't look like
He say he won't be going back to Egypt, y'all, for that. He say he done got past that, y'all. No matter what y'all saying, he can control. And look, y'all, if he doing 16 hours, y'all, he doing great. Cause y'all, if you still battling 9 o'clock,
That means the colonel getting a break.
boy, let's get it. Hold on, let's get that, y'all, so we can get caught up.
All right, y'all. In Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 20 and 21 says, "Instead whereof thou feddest thine own people with angels' food, and didst send them from heaven bread prepared without their labor."
Right? Without their what?
Without their labor. Able to content every man's delight, and agreeing to every taste.
Agreeing to every taste. So if you wanted it to taste like steak, if you wanted it to taste like onions, to just, you had it, all you had to do, it's a supernatural, you're telling this taste buds what you want to do. They're doing the same thing with MSG. Do y'all understand that? They make it taste like whatever you want. Lay's don't taste like you eating barbecue. There's no such thing as barbecue potato chips. They didn't come up like that. You didn't put the potato chips on the grill, did you? Did you? Did you cook them like that? But what it does is gives you a sense of taste like they've been on the grill. So in like manner, the manna bread gave you that taste if you need to keep you from having to going back to Egypt. The only problem with the MSG is packed on food with preservatives. So what's happening is you're getting a double dose of the bad. You know, but it is what it is. But go ahead and read some more of that. What does it say?
1. For thy sustenance declared thy sweetness unto thy children, and serving to the appetite of the eater.
Right.
Tempered itself to every man's liking.
Tempered itself to every man's liking. So he gave us manna bread, y'all, but do you know after that, they like, even though it tastes like the meat that I'm gonna go back into Egypt to get, it tastes just like that. I just tasted this manna bread. That ain't why I wanna go back to Egypt. This iniquity that we brought out here, that's what I ain't been able to do. Boy, ain't no shake clubs out here. We got Egyptian money and earrings. I can make it rain, but you're saying we're going to a rain-free zone. I want to go back to Egypt. Where I can eat and be a glutton and make it rain, because that's all you do in that mindset, don't you? Eat and fornicate. Let's get some more.
The second witness to that matter being angels.
Yeah.
In 2nd Ezra 1 and 19.
What it says there?
1 and 19.
Yeah. Then I had pity upon your mourning and gave you manna to eat.
Uh-oh, what's
so
that?
ye did eat. angels' bread.
What we eat?
Angels' bread.
Now you say you want to go to heaven. You want to be like them in heaven.
Right.
But when it say here's the bread you be eating in heaven, you like, boy, come on, man. I don't taste no MSG. Ain't no lorries on this. The mind, you can't come into the covenant with the same thing. This is why he's the law of remarrying a wife, you know, even if she's been with somebody else and then she divorced him. You can't go back and marry her because it ain't nothing changed. You got to be under what you saying. Well, she divorced him, I can get her back now. Well, she ain't changed.
That's why she getting a divorce.
That's what you right, another one. So you can't go back and jump back in the same frying pan again. Or it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be moaning and weeping and somebody trying to comfort you. You're like, man, what changed? Well, she started wearing her dress a little bit lower than the black part of her rear end. She was covered up. Wasn't as many men looking, just young men.
The only thing changed is your lust.
Boy. She just let the hymn out.
Just some of your lust.
Go ahead, bro. What we at?
All right, we're in verse
What was
20.
that? Second half? What was that?
1 and 19.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Nah, it was at 20. We was in 20. We're going to do 20 over.
Okay.
But even a whole month until it come out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? And Moses said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen, and thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month.
Right.
Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them, to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to suffice them? And the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord's hand wax short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not.
See, and this is what the difference that's set apart from the other gods. He like, first Moses, I got to always convince you. If you ain't convinced, you ain't gonna convince them. It's the same thing when he said, they ain't gonna hear me, Lord. How they gonna say the Lord told me to come? He said, okay, I see what it is. You gotta be convinced. He said, first he told me, he said, Aaron, I can't, you know I stutter. And when I tell it, Yahweh said, they gonna laugh me to scorn. He said, don't worry about that, I already took care of that. Aaron talks like Ariel reads. So it ain't gonna be no problem now. He's gonna communicate it for you clearly. You ain't gotta worry about that. Then he said, but they still ain't gonna believe. He said, okay, you need convince. Put your hand in here.
Yeah.
Now pull it back out. And he did like this. It was the color of a leopard. So, and why we grab right here like you gonna stop it from going all the way up? And then he said, put it back in there. And when he poured it back out, it's his normal color. He said, now throw that staff down. And he took off running when it turned to a serpent. He said, come on back. Grab it by the tail and pick it back up and it popped back in his hand. He's like, this the Lord with me. I don't have no fear now. And so right here where we're at again is the fear factor. Don't worry about them. I told you I'm gonna show you wonderful work. These people understand when it works. Like how we get scared when it storms. Ain't nobody else respect the Lord like we do. Get in the house, turn that TV off. Y'all know we heard it. Turn it off.
Get off the phone.
Get off the phone. Who on the phone? And everybody go to bed. But
6 o'clock in the evening.
it's 6 o'clock, like, yeah, 3:30, you in the bed. Speed Racer still on. Where we at? Let's pick it up, y'all.
Verse 24.
What it say?
And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord.
Right?
And gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle, and said, the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass, that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. and did not cease.
See, so it ain't just coming on them to be lords over the people. They prophesied this was the gift. They were going to show these same miracles. Those groups would show groups of Israelites, the Lord with us. The Lord with us. That's the only way you keep moving forward. Don't worry about that, man. You ain't got to worry about, don't be scared. Don't worry about what's in front of us, because you know what's behind us ain't no good. Look, when you looking through the rearview mirror, you're not looking there. You don't drive just looking through the rearview mirror the whole way where you going, do you? You know where you coming from. You need to be looking forward where you going. Go ahead, get some more, brother.
But there remained two of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle. And they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man and told Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp.
Them was some twins. No, I'm just go ahead.
And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My Lord Moses, forbid them. And Moses said unto him, Enviest thou for my sake? Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them. And Moses got him into the camp, he and the elders of Israel. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails.
I just want to catch that. When Joshua said that to Moses, Moses is asking Joshua a question back.
Right.
Are you envying them for my sake?
Yeah.
So what's going on here is like Joshua saying Moses is the only prophet.
Right.
And Joshua and Moses saying, so you saying they can't prophesy? You saying it's just because of me?
Right.
So he further went on and said, with God, everybody was a prophet.
Absolutely.
So he that's what happened right there.
Right.
He telling Moses somebody else out there prophesying. And he's saying, because Joshua was looking at that as they shouldn't be doing it.
Right, and see, Joshua ain't looking at it. He's looking at the point that Moses, I know I'm under you, so I'm supposed to follow you, even though it said the servant of Moses. That means all he did the young man work for the elder. He wasn't ruling over him, because remember, Moses couldn't go into the promised land. Who did it go to?
Joshua.
So it went to, a young man that was understanding his role play in the matter. He was just looking at Moses. He was like, well, he's saying, what you envying? He like, you want me just to be able to tell it? He like, no, these 70 elders got it too. Like bro saying, so when you read down, you understanding that this is never an I or just me and you did things, because this very thing that Joshua was talking about ended up coming back and biting Moses in the rear. Because he did get with his brother and say, shall we give y'all water when we just reading what the Father did? He said, I'm going to send you quail. I'm going to send you so much manna bread. I'm going to send you so much meat it's going to come out of your nose. Then he said they hungry. He said, I'm going to tell you how to get water for them. And then he did like this, should we give you water? And the Lord said, uh-oh. They got to you, didn't they?
No, you didn't.
They got to you, didn't they? So that's why he said, Joshua, I'm going to send you in there. So the envying that Moses thought of, it wasn't the fact that like Moses was just saying at that point, don't put it on me, and it ended up getting put on him. You understand what I'm saying? Because that kept getting in his ear, and he said, the Lord already know. He like, just kill me, don't kill them. He like, Moses, you ain't got a clue. You gonna be back in the next day with this same crime again about these people. That's why I got y'all out here, to get y'all correct. Y'all, unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees, you got no part in the kingdom.
That's right.
If your mindset is always going back, and look like these Negroes keep going back to Aaron's priesthood. I'm not talking like Aaron is bad. I'm talking about back to the priesthood that don't exist anymore. You're not going to be married that way no more. There's a new marriage ceremony. And it's being married up here. See, and this is where everybody's thoughts gonna be on the line. You can manipulate a wedding now. If they say, will anybody stand up who got something to oppose, and you show your pistol. Everybody sit back down. He like, go on, preacher. Who let her in here anyway? I told y'all to stop her at the door in the parking lot. No, she was gonna cause trouble. I gotta check and see if that's my baby anyway. Did I say that out loud? Go ahead. Go ahead, preacher. Go ahead, bro.
You want her up out of here.
Boy. She gonna stand up. Yeah, I got something to say. How you getting married and ain't no Pampers? Ain't no Enfamil. Ain't no cereal. And you got all this set out for everybody else.
Girl, get out of here with that crazy.
Go up there, go be the ring bearer, Junior, and he walk up there with a pamper sagging in the back, like he got a rack of pool balls in there. You like, who let her in? Go ahead, boy.
Verse 31. And there went forth a wind from the Lord,
Right?
and brought quail from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side. And as it were a day's journey on the other side,
Right?
round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp.
See, and y'all, we're talking about a day's journey this way. If you walk a day's journey that way, the 4 sides, north, east, south, and west. If you walk 4 sides, and then I want you to think about a day's journey. A day's journey, look, usually you walk, like from Egypt, that was a day's journey back to Jerusalem. So that may be walking 12 hours straight, or however long it is a day's journey is. Look it up in the script, a day's journey. That's how far it was that way, if you walk that way. So it was in a square circle.
2 cubits high.
How high is 2 cubits?
Well, the cubic is 18 inches from the tip of the elbow or to the fingertip of a man. That's how they measure cubics of a man. Now there's cubics of an angel that's a little bit different. So that's where you want to make sure that word etymology don't get you by law. If it's talking about an angel, it's going to supersede the cubic of a man, because it tells you they're different sizes. So if you just look at it from here, 18 times 2 is what?
36.
Boy, you was paying attention then. Right, so 36 inches high and a day's journey long this way around the camp. See, that's going to be enough to make you eat till it come out of your nose. Go ahead, bro.
It said here that the least gathered 10 homers.
Yeah. And Homer just waits. And they're saying this the least. And y'all, I want y'all talking about the one that didn't have no money, no prestige or nothing. They were able to grab 10 homers of it. See, and that would be, and like I'm saying, you can't jump to the next verse until you find out what an omer is in Israelite weight. And you say an omer in today's weight, it may say 2 pounds. So if it's an omer in today's weight, you can Google that right now. If it's an omer in today's weight, and if it say 20 pounds, then that means the least of us grab 20 pounds of quail. See, it was so much of an abundance, but the Messiah did the same thing when he fed the 5,000 with 2 loaves and 12 fish, didn't he? And it said they took up scrap. Everybody had LOs, leftovers. Took them home with them. Because that's the deal. He said, I'm gonna feed your spirit, then I'm gonna feed y'all flesh. And I'm gonna always show that y'all, I'm not a deadbeat dad.
6 kilograms.
So when y'all understand it from that purpose, y'all, that help you to be understanding. So when you repeat this class to somebody else and they ask, what is an omer? You're already ahead of the game to answer it. When you ask, what is that was on manna bread? When you look up the Hebrew word for coriander seed, I'm telling you, if we didn't look it up in there, it would tell you it's for ailing, it's for inflammation, it's for gastrointestinal problems in your stomach. Don't you know your stomach craves what it's not supposed to have? and you give it to it till you go to sleep. That's a problem. Because what happens is your bodily organs are working when they're supposed to be resting. That's what he's trying to tell you about the Sabbath day. The same way, if your organs work 24 hours, 7 days a week, that's going to be a problem. Your organs are going to break down. It's nothing could sustain, nobody could sustain that. Eating and working all the time, the body is going to break down. It has to have sleep where the body can break all of that stuff down, get it out of your body. But if it's in breakdown mode when it should be detoxifying mode, you got some problems. It never get to the detoxifying mode. And you wake up and that's when you feel irritable. I feel bloated, you know, because it ain't had time to get the toxins out of there. It's been busy and you waking up in the middle of the night coughing and getting up, got to get a drink of water. That's because it's working overtime. It's producing acid. You eat up to 12 and then you crawl into bed at 12, 11.
I'm a living witness, y'all. It happened. Because I eat late and I wind up waking up 2 or 3 hours later and can't go back to sleep.
And can't go back to sleep. All of it. And you wake up. You need some water? It's like, don't add me awake. Right. Don't add me awake. Go on and get you some water or something. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 33.
What'd it say?
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth,
Right.
ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people. And the Lord smote the people with a very great plague.
Oh, y'all see this in the wilderness, y'all, for disobedience? In the wilderness, y'all, this is what I want y'all to understand. So when we're looking at that prophecy, y'all, this prophecy is getting our minds together to come into the kingdom with a clean slate. If the Holy Spirit dwells inside of here, it cannot dwell in sickness. I'm talking about compounded sickness. If it comes in, it should clear it all out. You can't let it clear it out and then you dump some more in there and expect the Holy Spirit to just stay there. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 34.
What it say?
And he called the name of the place Kiriath-Ava,
No.
because they buried the people that lust.
Look, that place is named for the people that lusted. I want y'all to understand this. They give it a name so that you understand we're in the wilderness. You can't just lust for anything, y'all. If you're cleansing yourself, this is a worldwide when there's no other place. Ain't no location salvation. It ain't nowhere you can take the same plagues that woe you to another place on planet Earth and thinks things gonna change.
Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead,
We
brother.
talking about location salvation. I didn't realize this until like last week or the week before that. We tried that in the 60s.
Yeah.
Everybody moved from the south up north, thinking we was gonna get away from that oppression that we was suffering
In the
down
south.
there in the south. And what do? Run to the north,
But look,
but still in this same country.
ain't everything south of Canada south?
Right.
So United States is south
Right.
of Canada. So when you run north, all of America is still south of that. So what you running to?
In a circle.
You're just running to lesser of the whip. But y'all have to understand, Harriet Tubman and everybody there, but she was back fighting in the Civil War as an undercover agent on the inside. So she still was in Deuteronomy 28. She just worked her way on the inside like Moses did. That's why they called her Black Moses. What you got, brother?
Under the order of Melchizedek, we're the Ark of the Covenant, we're the temple.
Absolutely, bro.
We can't.
Until it returns to earth.
Right, so you can't dwell in a clean temple. That's why it's important that we keep our temple clean. Because we're the third temple. Once we come to obeying him and get back to the covenant with him, that's when the kingdom will proclaim on earth.
Right.
Because we're the people, we're the people, we're the temple.
Yeah, absolutely. So
That's why we need to fast and pray a lot more than we do.
then we do.
Because it cleanses your body.
Yeah, it do.
It'll relieve diseases.
So the Holy Spirit can come and dwell there.
That's right.
Y'all have to understand that, and then it keeps you. But you have to allow it to come in and dwell. And it tells you the law breaking what tells you what the Holy Spirit can come in. I don't care what you hear somebody saying. Look, you got people out there, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on. I'm telling you, we're gonna move on. And understand this, because we're talking about herbs and different things, and every herb ain't for everybody. But every herb have healing quality. If it says it's a seed-bearing herb, it has healing qualities when you eat it. But the bottom line is, if word etymology gets you, you will focus on eating one way. The body eat many ways. Proverbs 30:20 says, such is the woman that eateth and wipeth her mouth, and say, I have committed no wickedness. Such is the adulterous woman that eateth and wipeth her mouth. So which mouth is she wiping that she's been eating with that breaks the law and causes adultery of a marriage? So which mouth? And that mouth has, and we ain't gonna describe it for the shorty's sake, but it's described with the same type of things in the mouth that's above the navel. So yeah, right, you have to understand that, y'all. So if you get caught up and they saying the only way you can do Genesis 1:29 is through eating it in brownies. Well, the problem is, if you got a brownie problem, you're gonna be idle. It's still in the marketplace, because you're gonna eat yourself into a coma, so to speak. Because you still eating, it's still what it is. Do you understand? Unless you got a report, and I'm gonna get you two by. Not one report on planet Earth that ever says that herb has caused death. Right. Not one article. I'm not saying it ain't none, but it ain't none on record that say if you don't stop this, it's going to kill you. It ain't none. So if you say, well, you ain't supposed to do it that way, you can't tell me what way to do it, and they ain't got no on record that it still ain't no deterioration of a lung. You need a lung transplant, even doing it this way. So where's the harm? This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about what you think. And then these same individuals will say that Indians are of a tribe and they smoking peyote through a pipe. And they ain't saying nothing about them. Ain't got no beard and smoking peyote. And peyote is a hallucinogenic. They go into the spirit world. The worst you gonna get with this Genesis 1:29 is sitting at a stop sign waiting for it to turn green. I'm gonna be late. Oh shit, that's a stop sign.
It's funny when you do it, there's no beard.
Boy, look, come on, man. They been fussing at me. Tonto ain't got no beard. What you got, bro?
But somebody had that question earlier in the chat. You just pretty much answered in the fashion. They asked, is it okay to smoke?
Well, that's like I'm saying, we'll get to what defiles a man's temple, and what we're talking about is every man know theyself. You can be doing the right thing too much and it wears you out. If anything is in your temple that drives you to worship it, then you have to get rid of it, because that's the first thing you're gonna ask for when the pressure's on. Right. Look, that's why they come in the interrogation room on first 48 with a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
First thing they do, they put it right there, and then the sweating start. Well, look, Earl over in the next room, he said, you the one pulled the trigger. Not one of y'all lying.
Right.
Need a smoke. See, the smoke relaxes you so you can tell.
They say you keep a pack of Newport.
See, that's when it would be a problem for you. Or if they say, if you don't take the mark of the beast, you know you can't buy them anymore. If that causes you to take the mark of the beast, remember, Esau sold his birthright for one morsel of meat. So y'all have to understand, anything that will cause you to sell your birthright for it, then that's where it's at. But as far as just saying what a person cannot put in a temple, you know better than anybody what it's doing, because it's your temple. You know, and you done had all of the scares if you just ain't been scared to the doctor yet. You just trying the remedies right now, but your body knows and it tells you. It always wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell you, it's something going on. Wake up and see what's going on. because that's the time your sleep should be sweet and your soul should be resting and supercharging for this dying flesh. But you got problems because it's something in there that you know what's going on. You can't put Robitussin on everything. Robitussin does not change your green toe back to this flesh color. Robitussin ain't gonna do that. I don't care how much you rub on that toe. You can put some baking soda on it. You can put some other stuff because you ain't stopped what's causing the toe to turn green. Let's read some more, y'all. Go ahead. We finished that, didn't we?
You got 35. Verse 35.
Huh?
One more verse.
Go ahead.
What it say, y'all? Verse 35. And the people journeyed from Kiriath Arba unto Havilah.
Right.
And abode at Havilah. That's it.
See, so that was just one journey that we went to and we stopped there, set up shop again. Y'all, we on our way to the promised land.
Yes, sir.
So we got to get through trials and tribulations all the way through the wilderness. Y'all think about where we at right now and we got to go through the wilderness and God forbid we make one mistake, it's going to be 40 years. So y'all looking at right now it's 400, it's going to be another 40 on top of that if we ain't doing right. If it happened tomorrow. And you think about the ones that say we got to go to another wilderness before this start. Y'all, we looking at another 100 years, easy, if you're going by that process. So stay on point. Like I'm doing right now. Keep reading, y'all. Deuteronomy 9:16, we're gonna read down a little bit. Y'all, and this is what I'm talking about Moses, y'all, we messed up on the way home. He keep giving us second chances, y'all. We can't keep voiding the law because grace is here. God forbid we break the law because grace is here. Go ahead, bro. Deuteronomy 9:16. Let's get it.
Reading in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, start our reading at verse 16.
And y'all bag it up to verse 1 for time's sake. Go ahead, bro.
And it reads, And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Most High your Elohim,
right,
and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly.
How fast was it?
Quickly. Out of the way which the Most High had commanded you.
And y'all think about this. Most of y'all found y'all was Israelites did more sinning than you did when you was in the world that first month or two. Because you're trying to shake it. And you're trying to tell everybody, but you ain't got rid of your sins yet. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
What it say?
And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands and break them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Most High, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights.
So he said, I fell down again. So this round 2, y'all, he's telling you, like as the first 40 days and 40 nights. Moses did 80 of them, y'all, so the Lord will show mercy on us. Y'all understand how this man must have felt when he hit that rock and he say, boy, he warned me about this people. This a stiff-necked people. He warned me. Go ahead.
18 from the top.
Yeah.
And I fell down before the Most High, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned, in doing wickedly in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger.
No.
For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure, wherewith Yahweh was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Most High hearkened unto me at that time also.
So the Most High will listen to you, but he said he was scared of his hot displeasure. Do y'all understand what that means? Hot displeasure. See, when he mad at you, he put that heat on you. He put that fire on you. We just read where they named the place where the fire got them brothers. When he put that fire on you, you know he mean business. Your mama and them told you, I'm gonna put some fire on you. Do you not know what that means? You know what it means because of how you rub. And hot only get rubbed like that. Cold don't get rubbed like that. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And Yahweh was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. And at Taberah, and at Massa, and at Kibroth Hattaavah.
Boy. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Ye provoked the Most High to wrath. Likewise, when the Most High sent you to Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you. Then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Most High, your power. And ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. Ye have been rebellious against Yahweh from the day that I knew you.
Look, ain't we done heard that? Boy, you been hard-headed ever since I know Joe. A-double-S. Y'all, this a living book. Go ahead.
Verse 25. Thus I fell down before the Most High 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Most High had said he would destroy you.
See, so Moses done fasted twice for us, 40 days and 40 nights. Y'all, this is a sacrifice of an intercessor. If you bowing down or you put somebody in charge of you, and they ain't made this sacrifice for you, because the Lord will kill you, man worshiping. Look, this what an intercessor do for his people, even though we crazy. He said, Lord, I'll take it because you put me in that position. I can't take my role back. I can't give it back. Here, Lord, I don't want to give it to somebody else. But I'm going to do another 40 for this people. But first, I'm going to show you, Lord, that I ain't playing with him either. He stumped that stuff and put it in the brook, so when you get in water, or when you need your bread, that golden calf is in there, you'll eat your sin. Y'all, we didn't throw sacrifices away. We ate the sacrifices for sin. Y'all, but what y'all think meat gonna taste like sin-free? And what I mean is not about sacrificing for transgression. Y'all know how sweet that meat gonna be. But that's why we wanted to go back to Egypt, because we like that dirty meat. Right. I mean, whatever, even no matter where you get it from, you know the bottom line is you can't have cattle when you live in an apartment. You gotta trust where you getting it from. But Most High understood that. Don't worry about what they sell in the marketplace. Your conscience ain't got to worry about it. If they say it's beef, it better be beef. If it ain't, I'll get them. Because ain't nowhere else for you to shop. Is it a Hebrew shop that guarantees it's pure lamb cooked like it was in the days of Abraham? Where that? Because we still looking for it. Passover coming up again. We got most feast days, huh? No, that's a dog. That's Ish dog. No, that's Ish dog. That ain't no lamb. That ain't no cow. That's Bella. Bella is not to be put on the grill. The other day, Bella was looking for what came off the grill. Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 26.
What it say?
I prayed therefore unto the Most High, and said, O Master Yah, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Most High was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he had brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people, and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power, and by thy stretched out arm.
So Moses is telling them, don't forget about them, Lord. Look, you knew they was in bad shape. You know, when we came out, that's why we going through this process of cleaning up. He's like, Lord, just don't scrap it right now. Please don't scrap it right now. I'll do another 40 days. Y'all, that lets the Lord know you mean business. See, we can't get into it like churches are doing now, that where they do the Daniel, they calling it the Daniel fast. In their instructions, do it say, if the king of Babylon, if Donald Trump's burden you and threaten you to do this, then you will do the Daniel fast. That's what that fast was about. It was about, and it wasn't a no food fast. It was a fast off of meat, off the king's meat. Because the butler that came to him said, if you don't eat this, he gonna kill me. So I know he gonna kill you, you have to eat. This is Daniel looking at somebody of another nation and said, I care about your soul. I'm not gonna be responsible for having you killed because I know how the king play. He done sent you and say, if he don't eat, you gonna die for him. So I'm not gonna put you in that situation. I tell you what, go get me some rice and some of them beans and one of them email baskets. And I guarantee you, when they look at me, they gonna say he must be eating the king's meat. The way his face looking is full. It ain't. That's why Matthew 6 say, when you fast, don't be like his other man. Put Afro Sheen in your heart. Put some Vaseline on your lips. Wash your face. Don't be sitting there looking like Tyrone Biggins, lips chapped and split open like lightning. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, where somebody else be doing like this when they be looking at you. You're like, damn, that's split. You need some stitches in your lip. You know, but y'all understand what I'm saying? So when it say fast, they should never know you fasting. Nobody should never know you're fasting. You shouldn't promote your fasting.
Yes, right.
Let's get some more.
Hello, real quick.
Go ahead.
What Daniel talking about here about Moses' sacrifices that he's done for the people, there was also another one done here at this same exact time. After Korah and Dathan was put down and the earth swallowed them up, there was still like 250 or 200, 2,500 or so other priests that were left that was confederate with Dathan.
Right.
And Korah. So it was like the next day, what are we gonna do with them?
3,000 of them.
And then when the Lord put the plague down, he killed like 2,000 of them people before that plague had spread. Moses and Aaron ran in between that and stayed the plague because they asked the Lord, don't kill them all.
Right.
So they ran right in the midst of the people. And the people that were still alive behind them, they said, Lord, don't kill them like that. So the ones that was in front of them had died because of the plague, but they stood in between the people, and the ones behind them lived. Because they asked the Lord, no, don't destroy your people like this, Lord. And they ran immediately in between that and saved them people's lives.
And y'all look, it's a lot of times we had the Lord, beg the Lord to cut the slaughter off. Y'all look, when David sinned and numbered Israel, the Lord gave him 3 choices. 3 years of famine, 3 years of the Philistine putting their foot up in your rear end. You think you was belching quail, it's gonna be leather sandals, you're gonna be belching of the Philistines. Or 3 years of death in your house. David said, I'll take Israel and the death angel for 3 years. And the death angel went through that slaughtering and they had to stay the hand of the death angel. It said he gonna slaughter everybody, because when the death angel going, it's saying clean all of that out. And he went through there cleaning it out, and they had to stay the death hand of the angel of the angel of destruction that came to wipe Israel out. Y'all got to understand that Lord don't care nothing about you. He chose you. He said I could chose rocks to make a people out of. Y'all ain't nothing special now. And then you think you gonna be special. How you gonna be special to me and you doing the same crimes they doing? That's why I put you there, to see you was doing the same crimes when I threw you out the lane. You can't come back home with that. Do you let anybody you put out come back home with the same behavior?
No.
Mama, open the door. Damn. Open the door and what you cook? What you cook? That, look, and get them damn dirty clothes, because I've been wearing these same drawers for 3 weeks. I'm hungry. What, you cleaned up my room too?
Now your drawers.
You know what'll be happening then? Your father be calling, is this the neighborhood funeral home?
Right.
Then I'm gonna call 911 and tell them, look, my wife, she was attacked verbally and she stood her ground. Who was an intruder? It's William Jr. Yo, so ain't no way he let us come back home with the same behavior. If you fasting and everything in your life still in a ball of hell, there's something else going on. You're fasting for the wrong thing. You're fasting like the church when they say we're doing the Daniel diet. Do you know they're doing that so they can get in their church dress? The one they've been wanting to wear? It's about slimming down. It ain't got nothing to do with saving the life of a man that said the king gonna kill me and he gonna kill you if you don't eat his meat. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's about sashaying up to the front row and girl, that dress show. Or the man on the diet. Boy, you fitting them slacks that you bought 10 years ago, ain't you? Them slacks, ain't it? Yeah, then slim down on the Daniel diet.
The double knit coming back.
Double knit coming back, bro. I'm gonna break my again. See, it's all for the wrong reason. It's for the outer cup. And they call it the Daniel fast. Y'all done heard it, ain't you? Yo, it ain't got nothing to do with what the scripture's talking about. It's talking about prepare your flesh to look good when you come up in there. Hey, the killing is off the table. They don't know it's surrounding death. Fasting is to get rid of death. Let's get some more. What you got something? Who got a question? Real quick, y'all. Go ahead. Go ahead, Theo.
I was going to say the Most High is not a respecter of a person.
No.
He's a respecter of purpose. You operate in your purpose.
Yes, sir.
And he'll just take you out.
So I ain't got time to play with you. Go ahead, Imam.
What you're saying is something quite different from the church that's going on that they're doing today. They signed a contract with Trump.
Yeah.
The churches.
Yeah.
And said, you get what you want and I'll get what I want. That's why they haven't spoken.
And that's why they tell them, look, you can't tell them who they are. You can talk about us. You can, look, Al Sharpton, you pretty good with that rhyming. You're actually an old rapper, aren't you? You know, no, okay, that's Jesse, the up with hope, down with dope. You're the
You know I used to be
you're the smooth talker. Yeah, you're the one that they have the smooth soliloquies.
Yeah.
See, like when he came here to St. Louis, when I was searching, and they said Farrakhan was down at the Key. I went down there, and Al Sharpton opened for him. So I started thinking, wait a minute, this a man of the Bible open for the man of an outside book?
Yeah.
You see, this was back in the 80s. They got our young people hooked on crack, and our old people hooked on crackers. And they clap. See, so what it's saying, the elders is hooked on white people, they can't get away from them. And the young people is hooked on the crack epidemic. And he's looking for applause. And they clap. So they get them type. They sing phrases to us. And we take the phrases and we, no justice, no peace. Or what? We gonna burn down everything? Well, okay, we got burn down proof because Trump told you. And troublemaker, come here when I'm talking this evening. It ain't gonna be as easy as it was in DC when we run y'all from the Capitol. When I walked over to the church and took my photo off, that was lightweight work. Now come around here and throw a smoke bomb, throw a firecracker. When you see your children, they'll be on Social Security. Now try me. And he's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they destroy black wealth. So he telling you, I don't care what y'all call sacred. White America is sacred. Make it great again. I'm not talking about make Tulsa great again. What had y'all seen me wear that? A red, green, and black hat make Tulsa great again? Where you see me wear that? Y'all know what hat I got on?
Yeah.
Where my rebel flag suit coat? Did y'all get finished with that? They like, not yet, Trump. Where we at?
We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10. We'll start our reading in verse 1.
What it say?
Let's get some understanding, family. At that time the Most High said unto me, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first.
Like unto the what?
Like unto the first.
Do that mean a second set of 10 commandments?
It sounds like.
Let's go.
And come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest. And thou shalt put them in the ark.
Right.
And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first.
Right.
And went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand.
So he made another Ark of the Covenant out of just shittim wood. The first one was overlaid with gold. This one just shittim acacia wood, which is wood that won't rot away. It's like the ark was made out of acacia wood. So some y'all want to get some water, really waterproof. What Home Depot talking about, that water treated wood. Pressure treated. That ain't acacia wood.
No.
We're talking about that handle 40 days and 40 nights of a downpour. Wood. Let's get some more.
Verse 4.
What'd it say?
And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which the Most High spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And the Most High gave them unto me.
He didn't say he changed the commandments. They didn't change to hard head, and I shall add another one. The first one will start off no, it ain't start off. He say exactly like I wrote it the first time. I'm not gonna change because they won't obey. Exactly the same way I wrote it again. Write it down for them again. The same exact way. So law supersedes any word etymology. No matter how you're talking about it, disobedient, I'm gonna give you the same law again. Is the law any different from what Cain did to Abel we told not to do?
No.
Right? So how we still in the same mindset talking about a kingdom and what the Most High want, and you try to kill your brother? You've been riding with him all day, so he got to be somebody you know and love. He been with you all day in your car. And at the end of the day, after them distilled spirits go to work.
Y'all made a Facebook Live.
Boy, and then at the end of the day, who you been riding with, it turned out to be training day. You done gave them that water. Smoke this. Ain't nobody gonna believe you been riding with me all day. All day you've been listening to this bad man-made doctrine with me, riding with me. But you on that water now. I'll tell on everybody you've been sipping that water with me. And now y'all warned. And it goes to this level next. And the next word out of your mouth is the kingdom. Are y'all crazy? Let's speed this up. I ain't gonna interrupt.
Okay.
Until I get a chance.
Verse 5. And I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made. And there they be, as the Most High commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Beeroth of the children of Jaachan to Moserah. There Aaron died.
There Aaron what?
Died. And there he was buried. And Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead.
Now hold right there. Just give me a little bit of that Numbers 20 and 25. No, 25 and 20. Numbers. Y'all hold on to this Deuteronomy. I just want to show y'all something very important on why the Most High took Aaron's breath from him. Now remember the golden calf, Moses sacrificed 40 days. That was to get Aaron off of that. So Aaron wasn't put to death for the golden calf. He was found grace in there by Moses praying for him. He was delivered from that sin. It was remembered, and there's points so we don't do it again, because out of sight is out of what? Out of mind. So if the burn up place ain't there, do y'all know they still got Sodom and Gomorrah on the map? You can Google it now. Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and look what you'll see. So it's still there as a reminder. Every time his discipline or his righteousness, he leaves a reminder. If you visit an angel, he say, put a pillar there and mark the spot that the heavens opened up. This is a marking spot. Go ahead, sis.
What was it with the calf and us? Like, there's so many times it comes up every time we want to do some idolatry, it's a calf.
Well, because that was the one that we fell right back into after salvation. The devil comes after salvation. Devil don't, he ain't coming. You think he after you when you're in the world. He's after you once you accept Messiah. Because now the hunt is on. The hunt is on to get you to break the law so you join him. See, now it's without excuse. When I already had you when you was in the world, you know what I'm saying? It was going to be a crapshoot for you anyway. Your exes had to outweigh your O's. And what you were doing when you took that job at the daycare and nobody didn't know you was an ex-sex offender from Chicago. See, you was hiding that. Y'all, so in like manner, sis, go ahead.
But I'm saying, why is it always a cow and not like...
Well, that's what he's comparing the sin to. See, it's after you've been saved, you gave praise to another God that's been torturing you. Molech took your children and burned them in a fire, and you didn't get anything, but still was a slave even more to Molech.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Are you talking about just the golden calf, or because you've seen other cultures worship cows too?
Yeah.
Is that where your questioning is coming
Yeah,
from?
because I was like, where did the Hindu
Okay,
people
like Hindu people,
copying us?
same thing.
Right.
It's same thing. It's about the cow. It's bowing down and worshiping to an
Another
idol.
God, something else other than the Most
Not
High.
the cow, though. What's the
Look, they don't eat the cow like the book instructs it. They drink they pee.
Yeah, see, the golden calf itself was just when we came out of Egypt and Moses left to go up on top of the mountain. It was the people saying, he done left us out here, this.
Right.
We need a God.
Right.
So they made Aaron make them a god
Right.
out of a calf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they was worshiping, and they were saying, this is who brought us out of Egypt.
Right.
This is who delivered us from Pharaoh.
Right.
Everything that God did, they said this calf did it.
Right.
Okay, and so that's why Moses, when he had it ground up and put in their food and water, that y'all gonna eat y'all sin.
Right.
But it's just other nations who like the people in India,
Yeah.
they think the cow is sacred.
Yeah.
So they give it a high status in their society as a holy animal.
Yeah.
And they worship it like that.
Look, it took a long time, 99 years, for the Cubs to win this World Series, didn't it?
Yeah.
And guess who their chief announcer was? Harry Caray. What was his favorite slogan when they hit a home run? Holy what?
Cow.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
That's where he got his power from, to put it over the fence. Holy cow! What do you mean, holy cow? We talking about the unblemished lamb.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about the red heifer. But what holy cow are you talking about too? Because they'll say holy dung in a minute.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Do you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Holy dung.
Yeah, I was waiting on that one.
Holy dung.
Yeah.
What you got, bro?
That came from the other nations. I mean, it was in Egypt, and they had all these gods and all these other Elohim, and there was a constant concept with Israel. We'll be serving the Most High. We look out to these other nations serving their Elohim.
Go to 22. Whoever got that number. 25 and, no, 20 and 22.
It came from the
Yeah.
other nations that were around us. Remember,
20
we
and
came
22.
into our land, which is Canaan, the promised land. Some of the people that was there was never driven out. The Most High had them there to test us.
Right.
And they had other stuff.
Not with evil though, but with righteous. Go ahead.
Right. They had stuff going on too. And we supposed to lead them to us. But a lot of times they led us to their
That's why I keep telling us don't mix. Right.
Look, in the Garden of Eden, who was there besides the trees of the garden? Wasn't it another tree in there of good and what? Evil. So, y'all, just like the land of Canaan, when Abraham went there, it was still wicked Canaanites there. But he had warned us. Here's Leviticus 18 through 20. These are the sexual laws that they're breaking in the land. You got to go in there and clean them out. The land is in the same position today because it's been left destitute. That's why it leads the homosexual parade. The top of the world. The gay parade, the chief of it is in Tel Aviv, is in Israel. They are the runners of it in the Holy Land. So if we go back to the land, we got to clean that up. That's why we're talking about people that leave now and go to the land. What are they doing about the gay pride parade? Marching down the streets of Jerusalem. You go back home, the bottom line is who in charge is still walking with them Prince butt-out jeans on. A dog chain around a boy's neck.
got a serious gay movement, right?
Boy, come on. It's in this other movement, but it warned us as the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all, we have to be careful. We're in the world, but we are not of this world. We can't fight for this world, and that don't mean we can't fight for rights for them not to come kill. That's two different things. We have to ask for them to sustain and put them back on point to where they're not exceeding the affliction. You can't ask for freedom and the script say, I'm gonna get them for exceeding the affliction. That's why I'm getting them, because they're exceeding the affliction. And I'm showing y'all how I'm gonna get them. The problem is, y'all, we gotta wait it out to see if that gavel hit and say guilty. You'll be going to the penitentiary. You'll face your worst nightmare. You'll face the angry brothers that you locked up. You'll have many excuses, but the movie Edmund will play heavy on your life. Have y'all ever seen Edmund?
No.
That's all I'm gonna say. When y'all get through, everybody out there, go watch the movie called Edmund, and you are gonna be, woo. Let's get some more.
Tonight, get some popcorn.
Edmund.
Yeah. It was about this white guy that was a racist and ended up killing a pimp and went to the penitentiary. And they had the hard-head Negro from Jason Lyrics. Who head was harder than Bokeem Woodbine? As the celly. Jumpsuit sleeves cut off and teeth missing up here. And the first thing he did is start pleading his case. I always loved black people. Y'all, I ain't gonna spoil it for you, but I'm just telling you, it wasn't a pretty picture. Let's get some more.
Give me numbers.
Numbers, real quick, y'all. Numbers 20 and 22, y'all. I just want y'all to see that Aaron died that we was reading in Deuteronomy. But I want y'all to understand he didn't die from the golden calf. He was spared for that, and he went again. The grace that the Most High showed him, he went back to it again. Moses was scared of his people. Y'all, we can't be scared of our people. Like he told Jeremiah, I don't care nothing about they got hard flint forehead. I'm gonna make your forehead harder than theirs. You're gonna be like Rufus or Jones on them. For some of y'all a little young, they have wrestling at the chair. Rufus or Jones was a brother that used to do the headbutt and knock everybody out cold. He said, I'm gonna give you double Rufus or Jones. Now get up there and tell the children of Israel what I said. Tell them their transgressions. Don't care nothing about them saying, get on away from here, Negro. Tell them the transgression so that blood don't be on your hands. You ain't got to do nothing more. You ain't got to pick up nothing at them. Just tell them what I said and your work is done. And look, just take one person with you. But it's 1,000 of them. All you need is him and yourself. Now get going.
But when he was a young man,
And no matter what he was, but he was scared of them Negroes. He said they foreheads is hard. I'm talking about stiff neck so hard, you know, like a child, you be trying to tell them so you can get them BDBs and you be pulling back like here, and you trying to get them all, hold your head down. That's stiff neck. This is the way we are to the law. Go ahead, bro. Let's get caught up, y'all. We ain't got but a few minutes.
Okay,
Numbers 20, chapter 20, verse 22. Let's get it real quick, y'all. Read down to the end of that. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes. Okay. Verse 22, Numbers 20. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor.
Right.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because he rebelled against my word at the waters of Meribah.
What is the sin that won't allow Aaron to get in? Y'all thought it was just Moses didn't get in. Aaron didn't go either. Right. Aaron, breath was taken. Aaron didn't die a good old age. Aaron was told, you're going to lose your breath here very shortly.
the clothes off. Give to the-
So let's keep reading. Go ahead. Verse 25.
Take Aaron and Eleazar his son and bring them up unto Mount Hor.
Right?
And strip Aaron.
And do what of Aaron?
And strip Aaron
Uh-huh.
of all his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son. And Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there.
And what shall he do?
He shall die there.
Uh-huh.
And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments,
Court-martialed. Go ahead.
put them on Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there in the top of the mountain. And Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel.
Couldn't go past that because this is a chief man in Israel, but 30 is the max. We ain't gonna keep crying for Aaron. We got to go to the promised land. You get 30 to cry for him, but that's it, y'all. We got to keep moving.
Just picture yourself being Moses, obeying the Lord with what he just
But
told
I'm
you to
talking
do.
about court-martial,
Yeah, but what he just
stripping
told
him
you,
out of them
your
robes
brother.
and putting them on
Your
his
brother.
son.
Your brother.
But the deal is, he's saying, I'm sparing you. Only thing I'm taking from you is the promised land. I'm giving you a break. But that we stuff, boy, that golden calf, I can understand that, but that we stuff. Not only did you make the calf, that wasn't good enough and you saw what happened. You became me. You superseded the calf that you made. You and your brother here, and I'm getting him next. He gonna be next.
That was it.
But you superseded the calf. Now it's we.
Moses had that
Do y'all
slow
understand why respect of persons is of this level? That's when he said, I have no respect of persons. I chose Moses for a reason. He was chosen a long time ago to lead y'all. That was it. I never chose him to have authority over y'all to ever say we. So how is some Negro out here telling you what you can or can't do was legal in the Bible? You know why? Because they come from them establishments to say, what these youngsters smoke in a day, we could build a kingdom here. Because they go through 2 or 3 dubs a week. That's why they let them be alcoholics. See, they'll become alcoholics in them camps. You'll always see them with a cup, on video with a cup. But they say you shouldn't be doing that. Well, I can keep this cup filled with $2. It's called R&R. And I can sip that all day for $2. But if I get into that blunt game, I'm 100 maybe before the sun set. We can't have these youngsters on that, so tell them it's against the law and never produce a scripture. Just say it's because it came from them. Well, a lot of things come from ancient Babylon, and you got on a lot more. You got Nikes on your feet?
Oh, no, I come from there.
Where they come from? Ain't that the sports god's shoe? What them doing on your feet? If you want to run down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, if you do, yeah.
But where there's no sin, there's no transgression. You can't talk Genesis 1:29 into a transgression unless it makes you idle and slothful and scratching and eating up all the cereal. Then it's a problem, just like drinking ain't a sin. Like church people tell you, you drinking the devil's juice. Does the Bible say you can drink?
Yeah.
What does it say you can't do?
Get drunk.
So how, that's why we call it Hebrew Christianity. It's doing the same thing. You ain't supposed to be doing that, but yet the cup in your hand is full of cheap liquor, and it has liquor from 2 different doctrines in it, or 3 or 4. That's like pouring Hennessy and then put gin in there because it's getting low. Just keep it full, partner. Just keep it going. Yeah, that's margarita. Put me a little bit of that margarita now with that Hennessy.
You finna be sick.
Who got Coke 45?
That sounds like gall you drink.
Who got that beer? Yeah, go. Hold that in there.
That's that mixture of all that mess. That's gall.
Look, they will take a cigarette out of one left over and sip that down. Ain't nothing but a few ashes. Let's get it, y'all. I just wanted to show y'all that. Let's get back to this, y'all. I'm gonna speed this up. We ain't got number 2 more scripts, and we're gonna close it down just so we can chop it up with our fam a bit.
Luke 13.
No, I want to go. Did we
Back to
finish that Deuteronomy 9?
No, I'm at verse 7.
I ain't gonna say nothing else unless y'all don't hurry up. Y'all giving me time to talk. Let's get it.
Oh, we just said let you do it.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 7.
What it say?
From thence they journeyed unto Gudgoda, and from Gudgoda to Jotbath, a land of rivers and water. At that time the Most High separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, to stand before the Most High, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Most High is his inheritance, according as Yahweh thy power promised him. And I stayed in the mount, according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Most High hearkened unto me at that time also, and Yahweh would not destroy thee. And the Most High said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them.
Now, I just have to say this.
Okay.
Because I say a lot, you know, a lot of times that about, we had these same guys dressed up, come here, call themselves, gonna get St. Louis together. Fancy clothes on, and talking about I was sent back to get y'all together. Now, the first thing he let come out of his mouth that Noah wasn't in the ark 40 days and 40 nights. He was in there 40 years. Right? Yeah. And he said Moses was not up in the mount 40 days and 40 nights, but 40 years. So with revisited in this, we see Moses did 40 days and 40 nights, right?
Right.
So I asked him a math question. I said, Moses, he said the reason Noah was up there 40 years is because the fish drowned. The fish drowned. Believe me, y'all. He said the fish drowned. That's what he was coming to tell us. He said the fish drowned. That's why it wasn't 40 days. Fish don't drown in 40. Look, y'all. It was a strange to me.
Stop trying to figure it out.
So we got to Moses 40 days and 40 nights. I said, well, look. I said he left when he was 40. He got run out for killing that Egyptian. He came back at 80 to deliver the children of Israel. They wandered in the desert for 40 years.
Right.
Okay, now if he up there, if that 40 years wasn't 40 years, I mean, and then you got another 40 days that he went up into the mountain. Come on, wandering is 40. So that got him at 120, right? 40 when he left, 80 when he came back, 40 years of wandering is 120. Then he go up into the mount for 40 days and 40 nights, but they say that was 40 years. So that make it what? One what? Now we just read that he went back for another 40, and if that's another 40 years, what that make him? One what? No, it make him 200. So what did the script say Moses died at? 120. Moses was 120 years old, neither was his eyes dim. At that time, I said, you owe me 40 years, but now we're reading he actually owed us 80 years. If you're saying he went up into the mount for 40 years, you got to count the time. And he was coming here to get us straight with that. Had on a fancy coat, dressed up like a Pharisee, and thought we was going to fall for that. And for the life of me, I don't know how that Lebanon got in here with that childish understanding. I just can't understand it. And y'all, we're not mad, we're disappointed that Lebanon got in here and did what it did. It was nothing. How did it do it like that? But it lets us know a little what? Or do what? Let's keep reading, y'all, because we got to get out of here. Go ahead. I ain't going to say nothing. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
What it say?
And now, Israel, what doth the Most High thy Elohim require of thee? But to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Most High thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahweh,
right,
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
For thy what?
For thy good.
Go ahead.
Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Most High's, that thy Elohim. The earth also with all that therein is.
So he's telling you all the levels of heaven, the heaven and the heavens, and all the earth is his. He's not the universe spoke to you. The creator of the universe spoke to you. He's above the heavens of heavens. You stop and hear it. That's 10,000 light years away. And look, these heathens talking about this world ain't theirs either. Why do you think they still talking about going to the moon or to Mars? What do you think they want to escape? What world? What world? This world. They want another place to go to. And it's going to be a free zone.
Nigga free.
That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
We're supposed to use that word.
Negro land.
Right, we gonna be mad.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 15. Only the Most High had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For the Lord your power is Elohim of gods, and Master of lords, a great power, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, in giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger.
Well, who you gotta love?
Love ye therefore the stranger.
Who? How many tribes are right here when he's telling this? How didn't they say the number? Oh, I'm thinking y'all saying 13. Because in some groups, this must be 13 because they said this stranger was Israel. See how this problem's still popping up? How are you getting into Israel and he won't tell you who you are through the wilderness? You gonna be a stranger through all that? What separates a Israelite that goes through salvation that his name never changes back to Israel? All 12 tribes is here, and we still saying stranger. What? And you gonna see the same thing in Ezekiel 47. And the stranger that is among you, it's 12 tribes. It's the stranger, a 13th tribe that we don't know about, or it's making sure you follow their commandments of men. And tell you that a stranger is Israel because you don't want no other nation taking part in this. That's the only thing you could be saying. This is a problem right here when all 12 tribes is here and it's mentioning another group of people. Is it Israel that he's preserving that won't get it right? Is that the stranger? He's still under the law. It says one law for the stranger and one law for who else? Israel. It's the same law. So who is the stranger? Have we been strangers? Yes, we're strangers here. They let us know you're a stranger around here. You can't even find where you begin, so we'll tell you where you begin. On Master Johnson's plantation. Now, y'all preach that in February. You get 30 days to do it, or 28. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's get some more. Let's finish this off.
Verse 19.
What it say?
Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Oh, that answered that what I was saying, didn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
I could have let you keep reading.
Yeah.
Oh, I will from now on. Go ahead.
Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy Elohim, and that have done for thee these great and terrible things,
Right.
which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Lord thy power hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude.
No, 10 off. That's what we do, 10 off. Say 10 off. We did 10 off. That's good. I was just telling you, right. So you see that what the Most High say, I'm with you, 70 went down to Egypt. So this is what he wants to say, the whole household of Jacob. So when you're seeing whole house, shalom, Emar. All right, you be careful out there. Look, you may have too many bags in your hand. You okay?
Dio got you.
Yeah. Okay.
Walk some of that chicken off, boy.
Yeah. that's chicken scratch. Okay, y'all, we got 2 more script, y'all. We're gonna get the last 2 for homework. And y'all, this is just Ephesians 5, y'all, because we're under the new covenant. We're getting ready for the new covenant for another marriage ceremony. Y'all understand this. If anybody tell you you don't need a marriage certificate, get away fast and run fast. There is no writing or recording of your one flesh. And understand this, just as quick as Moses threw them down for disobedience, you know, that's why we're going through now retraining. But now we're going to get the covenant again that was given to Abraham. Not Abraham, I mean Abraham, but starting with Adam. That's where we're going back to. He never said we're going back to Mount Sinai. Messiah keeps saying, as it was in the beginning. Have y'all ever heard him say, as it was in the middle? As it was in Mount Sinai. Messiah is taking us back to the getting us prepared for the covenant of Melchizedek, which we have one high priest. So it should eliminate man worship.
Yeah.
Even the disciples, he didn't never tell them y'all gonna be over anybody. He said, bring me a little child. Joshua, come here. No, I'm just, not really Joshua, I'm just saying. That's what he said, yeah. But he said Joshua, he like, this is what the kingdom is like. This is what the kingdom is like. Will tell you what you are to your face, because they don't hide. They don't have nothing to hide. They're not reaching that. That transsexual Flame Monroe say the only person she can't fool is children. But she done fooled plenty men. Plenty men done woke up and had to readjust themselves. Literally. Let's get some more.
We Ephesians now?
Yeah, Ephesians 5. Y'all, and there's something very important here, y'all, because it's a marriage, y'all. Look, this class, y'all, we in a marriage. We got people, and look, ain't nowhere in the scripture that it tells any woman anywhere in this Bible that you must have a physical husband.
That's what it is.
What do you think a temple women for, and she was with the temple? Mary Magdalene never had a husband. It never said she was a prostitute, did it? Nope. It said she had 7 demons. That was it. That was cast out. The demons never said, Mary Magdalene wasn't dragging a mattress with her when the Messiah got her, did she? So how we just gonna put sin on people that ain't there?
Right.
Let's get it, y'all. Ephesians 5, because this is a marriage, and he's telling us, here's the hierarchy of any marriage. The father, the son of the father, the children of Israel, man, then the woman, and then the children. That order's not hard. Each one of y'all have a purpose in here. Each one of y'all must keep all the laws pertaining to you. Now this is the deal where we have to keep understanding, because these women beaters and trashers of the daughters of Israel, and I'm not just saying that so I get on your good side. I'm just saying when you're not playing fair, when you only showing the punishment of the woman and won't show the punishment of the man. I don't care how many times you say she don't sleep. I mean, she won't submit to me. She won't do it. The problem is you doing Genesis 3:17. You just pointing 3:16 out to her. She said 3:17. That application's still here. I thought you was gonna turn it in today.
Yeah.
And what you say, there's a lion in the way. You didn't see that lion out here when you pulled up from your 12-hour shift plus the overtime you did? You didn't see that lion out there. I saw him. That's why I just keep eating cereals. I wasn't going out there to take that application back. Now you quit fussing at me, woman, or I'll remind you of Genesis 3:16. But don't you remind me of Genesis 3:17. Y'all, the only reason I'm saying that because every scripture in the Bible that mentions slothful mentions a man, not a woman. That's going to be a problem no matter how you slice it. And when you get into Sirach, 22nd chapter, first 8 verses or whatever it is, it talks about the woman who won't submit and the man who won't go to work. Y'all, that's what the argument is about. Both people are pointing at each other's sin. You shut up talking to me, heifer, and put my name on the lease. You get a job so I can put your name on the lease. Now you done went too far. You done went too far. You supposed to treat me like Christ said you supposed to do me. So we need to get that cleared up. Ephesians 5.
Verse 1.
So we get everybody prepared for the marriage. Even the one that don't have a husband, because it didn't say that. They're married to Messiah. He didn't tell Mary Magdalene or Lazarus' sisters that thou must find a husband. Lazarus, I brought you back from the dead so that you could marry this single woman. What's that say?
No.
Let's get some more.
Verse 1.
What it say?
Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children,
Right,
and walk in love as Christ also hath loved us,
right,
and hath given himself for an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor.
right.
But fornication and all uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh the saints.
Not let it be named among you once as become a saint. So once you find out I'm an Israelite and you say I'm on the team, all this got to go away, or you just know your identity. You don't know what the Lord is requiring of you. It say once you become saint, once you understand the law, that old man or old woman has to die. You can't keep thinking about what, boy, back in the day. See, if you keep remembering that, that's a problem.
My old ways make me subject to sin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. You made a song about it. See, and if you're a 50-year-old man, keep talking about when you was 25, how many years of life you done lost?
25.
Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 4. Neither filthiness nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger,
Know what?
no whoremonger,
Right.
nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater,
Right.
hath any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
So the bottom line is, whoremonger and all of these things, they say they'll block you from getting in the kingdom. So you got to find in the law how not to be that. You can't be word etymology out of it. You can't say if somebody asks you what's a whoremonger and you say a monger of whores. We need some explanation according to the law. Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
What it say?
Let no man deceive you with vain words.
With what kind of words?
With vain
With
words.
etymology words. Words that don't apply to the law. Like we just read in Webster where it says in Numbers. That's the book of the law, ain't that one of the first 5 books?
Yes, sir.
This is the way you look at this word, what Numbers says. Not what this first one say, because that's what the world is doing. But Numbers say. It's like you go to the doctor. Can you quit eating that food that's killing you? I'm gonna try, doctor. Well, if you can't, here's the prescription.
Exactly.
First, here's your diet. This will stop that toe from turning green. Ain't no
Swine.
nothing in here. Ain't no ham hock helper. Ain't no, I don't see no scrimp delight. And then he say, well, here's the prescription.
Why you getting that?
So you can keep eating that. Now understand this. This gonna make you sicker than this. Well, we got to die for something, doctor. Give me that prescription. Call Walgreens, baby. Let's get that.
I know I love my paper.
Little boy, come on. Let's get it.
Let no man deceive you with vain words.
Right.
For because of these things committed the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience.
Right.
Obedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now ye are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth.
So we're seeing this is a different priesthood. It speaks of the fruits of the Spirit. Galatians 5. So we're seeing the change in order. Same laws, but this is how we deal with them. We don't deal with them like we did under the priesthood of Aaron. You know, we'll deal with them like this. One high priest. This is the only person that can fix everything we're talking about. And you got to get it up here. You got to circumcise your heart. See, that's why Paul was in a battle about Timothy being circumcised. That's what they was at war with Paul about the law. He ain't circumcised. His daddy a Greek. His mama an Israelite. He should be circumcised. He said, like, you think if we cut that flesh off of him, y'all still looking at him like he don't belong?
Yeah.
But Paul said he's circumcised right here. He's a young man and he's already above y'all in knowledge. This is him. He's got it here. This we gonna circumcise him later. He's doing the work. But guess what? They start threatening Paul so bad. Paul said, y'all take him back there and get him together. Go on, circumcise him, folk. They kill him.
You got the rocks.
Now, at this point, there's going to be, like in that movie Ruthless, there's going to be a sniffer or a looker. Like in that movie Daikon sniffing that man's privates, talking about,
You know I can tell.
you know I can tell. Now, if they gonna kill about circumcision on the outer cup and ain't worried about the heart circumcised, they gonna have some draw shuckers.
Yeah.
Shuck his drawers down, let me see. Oh, just what I thought, the blunt lip. Don't care now about he ain't violated no laws in this current position. He's been forgiven for all the other stuff he's done. He has the elephant look. Kill him. Y'all, do y'all understand what they're doing? It's just like that movie. They make up what make you like this. So if he's sniffing for fornication. When does the script allow for a fornication sniffer? No more than we can tell a woman coming in here unclean. What we gonna do, have to check her right there?
Right.
Or dogs. Women don't like dogs around them when it's that time. Because they sniff. What we gonna do, put dogs at the door? Or we gonna trust an individual is circumcised in their heart? They say, no, I'm not gonna leave any contamination behind. I won't go to class today. But if I'm protected, I'll go today. I can go today if I'm protected, because a man is on the same hook. If he with a woman and they're being fruitful and multiply and it just happened to come down, he didn't make it do that. I mean, even though the woman tell you that and it make your chest stick out, you made it come down. The problem is, it's a problem because you unclean for 7 days now. 7 days, you the man, unclean, you gonna miss the Sabbath. You can't go to class, but men are not teaching other men these responsibilities. So when they get it down on them, and it's pink in their shorts when they go to the bathroom, they still come to class, but they tell her she can't come. You ain't supposed to be here for 7 days either. That's what the law say. Let's read some more.
You got a question on
What we got?
Sis asked, can we get some information about the upcoming 3 days of gross darkness?
Upcoming 3 days of gross darkness.
Gross darkness.
We supposed to get 3 days of gross darkness? What? No, who? I mean, I ain't heard about it yet. Is it coming?
It's a eclipse that's supposed to, you heard of fire.
Right?
That's happening tonight.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Well-
I heard of that, but you can only see it on the.
The only problem, it has to be darkness like it was in Egypt. I'm talking about the darkness was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. I'm talking about if you flick a lighter, you still can't see your hand. You can flick like this, but you still can't see your hand. I'm talking about that darkness. Thick darkness. I'm talking about, I want y'all to picture this. You can feel darkness. Like the script say, you can weigh fire. Theo, they tell me you know how to do it. We're going to try it after class. But it says you can weigh fire. So it says darkness, you could feel it and grip it like this. That what you're seeing, we'll still see that. And plus, we still got the street lights. See, when the Messiah come back for the day, he said, I'm going to knock the what out?
Lights out.
The sun and all the what? The stars. So all the lights going to be knocked out. Whatever power in satellites is gone. So you ain't going to have no power in the daylight because there ain't going to be no sun. So that's when that comes, he say no, that it's even at the door. It's matter of fact at the door, because Amos 5:18 say the same thing. What is the day of the Lord to you? For it is a very what day? And what kind of day? And dark day. And there's no brightness in it. So what is it to you? It's like if a man running from a bear and ran into a what? A lion. Or put his hand on the wall, running from that, and a what? Got away, and you, and then a scorpion bite you. That's what the day of the Lord is like. Y'all, it ain't like this. And when Jesus comes, and when you're sure, no, that ain't it. According to the record, it's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be like a woman having birth, ready to give life and may lose her life. That's what it's compared to. It's not compared to and those strips at Golden Corral. That's your gut talking to you. That's what you're comparing it to. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 10.
What it say?
Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
Right?
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
Right.
But all things that are proven are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light.
Right.
Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
Right.
See then that ye walk circumspectly.
How we gonna walk?
Circumspectly.
Somebody just give me that word. We're gonna keep reading. I really need it though.
Not as fools.
Not as what?
Not as fools, but as wise.
But as wise. Circumspectly, but not as fool, but as wise. Wise meaning to understand knowledge, to know knowledge, to share it to somebody else. Not as fools. What a fool do?
No
if
knowledge.
it was me,
knowledge.
I'll go over there and I'll kill him. About what? What he did to you, you know, so you take vengeance in your hand. That's foolish talk. Man, if God really loved us, why everybody dying? Man, why your mama died? See, how you gonna start there? Her mother died, and her mother died, and her mother died, and her mother died. And you mad because this mama died.
Right.
What about all them other mamas? Let's read some more.
What about you?
Boy, look.
Verse,
You want that circumspect?
Yeah, I want that circumspect. Go ahead.
It's G196.
What it say?
No, 199. Exactly, accurately, diligently.
Right.
Perfectly.
Walk circumspect. Y'all, it's eyes on us constantly. Y'all, everybody is like this. You don't want to be on World Star. You have to walk circumspectly. That's wise in your walk. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You know how it goes. So every move you make is already 600 cameras on every corner. And then you got everybody with a cell phone waiting on somebody to transgress so we can show the world your transgression. And they're going to do it with your fringes on.
I want to add to that definition of circumspectly.
What it say?
What I've learned from this brother here is that it's the ability to look at the situation from all sides.
From all sides.
Before you make a decision.
That's what it'll say. Like, yeah, go ahead.
It's just simply to say that before you make a decision and you're faced with something, you look at all possibilities of an outcome.
From the law.
From the law, and that's your best answer for that. Because if you choose anything other than that, you're going to be wrong.
Right.
It has to be perfect.
Right. So if somebody come to you and tell you this what you supposed to be doing, you got to be wise on the matter and say, let me see how I look at this. So you telling me this, I look at this from male, female, free and bond, rich or poor. Everything you look at has to be looked at from that, or you leave something out. You're going to leave something out. If you keep talking about wicked women, the problem is you don't tell the men about slothful men. You just slap them on the wrist. So they're going to continue doing what they doing.
A wicked woman is given to a man for his portion.
Oh, boy.
I shouldn't have brought this.
Boy, you sure shouldn't have brought that up. Boy, see, that's what we talking about. Them weak on women elders. Here this nigga go telling it, this Negro. But we gonna tell it. We gonna tell it because we're commanded to tell it.
You got a wicked when you deserve that.
Let's get it. Where we at?
Let's say verse 12.
What it say?
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done to them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. I think I'm at 15.
Go ahead.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Right.
Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Because the days are evil, y'all. It's evil. Look, if you get caught on film, do you know your whole jacket coming up? What you've been keeping? But they bring up everything. They brought up everything of George Floyd. See, that's going to help with their defense. A jack artist, a porn star. Y'all, they bring it up, y'all know who y'all dealing with. This nation don't play fair. We're going to bring his drama up so we can understand. So we going to let y'all know how y'all champion this situation. And ain't one of y'all mention God's commandment is being broken. Y'all, they ain't supposed to kill us. But y'all, we ain't supposed to peel out with a busted tail light. We can't give them the hunt gene to activate their hunt gene. When you step on that gas pedal, they're like, oh, it's his own now. It's like Martin was and Roscoe Jenkins when they finally told him he could take on Sid again in that in the race. You know how he was jumping around like that? He was jumping around. That's what happened when you pull off, or when you say, "What you stop me for, pig?" That raises that blood, and then they'll be stepping on your body, taking a photo out. Got that, Negro? Let's read some more.
Verse 17.
What it say?
Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, whereas in excess, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
See, so first we start off with submit. We're seeing it from all four sides. See, the problem is if all this gets skipped, it just jumps right down to the woman. It just says submit to yourself to one another. How do we do that? How do I do that to y'all? How y'all do it to me? How do we submit to one another?
Living peacefully with each other.
Okay, so that gets that one out of the way for the people. The word ain't just for one individual, it's for male and female. Free and bond. It's gonna go through all of them. Let's read some more. Go ahead.
22.
What it say?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
Unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Now this is saying before you got married, because 1 Corinthians 7 break it down. It says, to the married I say this, to the unmarried I say this, I'd rather that you remain unmarried. So where did it come in the scripture that a woman must be married or she can't come to the kingdom? This scripture is saying, I'd rather that you stay single, because you don't know what you finna get into with marriage around here.
With Rufus.
Boy. He said, because you're going to tend to the things of God. If you get married, your husband come into play. But that don't mean you off the hook with me. I'm telling you what the rules are. So how did that get turned to another doctrine that says opposite of what that script say? That script say, I'd rather that the single women stay single. If you decide to get married, you got to be on your game and understand marriage before you jump into something you're not ready for.
Be circumspect.
Be circumspect. Let's get some more.
23.
What it say?
For the husband is the head of the wife.
What is the husband?
The head of the wife. Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
So we just read what the Messiah do for us. We just read how he shelter us, how he protect us, how he keep our enemies off our head, and he feed us when there's nothing to eat. He fed us to the point that where we were so asked, and he'll give you what you asked for too, what you lust for. That food was coming out of your nose. If you now have a doctrine now that you're teaching that says, I don't care what the Bible say. I say, if I'm wrong, you have to ride with me. I'm your husband. I ain't read that in here. I ain't never seen Christ say, if you go off on me, and I say, I can tell you to go over there and worship Baal. Have Christ ever told us that?
Nope.
Have Christ said, if you see me worship another God other than my Father, you can't say nothing, my bride, the children of Israel? Have we read that?
Nope.
Because he didn't do it.
That's right.
Let's read some more.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
So the key is, what is the everything? We just read everything. Not filled with wine, no lust. So let them be as Christ did the church. Now, let's read the rules, what Christ said about the church. He said, you cannot do this. So it's telling her, you have to love your husband like he loved the church and what he didn't go for. He didn't let no men get away with doing anything, but he never was to the point that he worshiped another God. The Messiah ain't never said nothing about man worship, did he? He said the Father and him alone. Ain't never gave nobody else the praise. So if you think this means if my husband decides he want to be a Muslim, I can't say nothing.
No.
Women, I'm telling you, you better get in these scripts. That's all I'm telling you. Because if you believe that one, you got some things coming your way. And it's going to be trouble. Because what do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
Nothing.
You done already told her twice. Let's get some more. Where we at?
25. Husbands, love your wives.
Right?
I'll repeat that. Husbands, love your wives.
Repeat that last line.
Even as even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
And did what?
And gave himself for it.
See, Christ gave himself for the church. That means go to the death. You protect her like that from the death. How you gonna protect her from death or funeral and ain't no paperwork? You can't protect her from a decision made about death. Should we take her off of life support? You don't have no paperwork. Guess who they call it? Next of kin. Here come that mama law you can't stand. They let you up in here. First thing you see her talking to the doctor and pointing at you.
Get that.
That's what you gonna see down the hall because you ain't got no paperwork.
You didn't give your life for your wife.
It sure did.
And then, God forbid, something happened to it. It's gonna be the same thing at the funeral home. Tell your ushers, don't want him in here. Not even at the wake. Not him or his cousin and his sister-in-law. Don't want them in here. Know why? Because you can't say nothing.
That's right.
Let's read some more.
26.
What it say?
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
By the what?
By the word. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish.
Right.
So ought men to love their wives as their own body.
As their what?
As their own body.
See, and the reason, like you're saying, the script say a wicked woman is given to a wicked man as a portion. If your body loves that, if your body loves fornication, then that's what you're attracted to. You have to understand it's reaping what you sow. That's all it is. And then if that happens, you got to deal with it. David never got rid of Bathsheba. He married Bathsheba so that that stain wouldn't be on her. And the child the Most High took care of so that the child wouldn't be called, here come the bastard prince. Here come BP, y'all. No, we ain't talking about the service station. Bastard prince. Supposed to be Uriah's son. Dad's whole mama is. All that was fixed. And David fixed it. That's why Matthew 1 said, and Bathsheba, who was the wife of Uriah. It's all the way up in the New Testament before Christ is born in Matthew 1. Why does it keep mentioning that? It's letting you know David was not the Messiah. This problem lies right here that he had to fix. Be no fixing of Messiah. There, because it said he did what? Sinned not. Let's read some more.
28 again.
What it say?
So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself.
Right.
For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherishes it, even as the Lord the church.
See, the Lord say he nourished and cherished the church. That's going to be a problem when all you know is this. Don't you say a word. Don't you open your mouth. Well, she ain't gonna never know to open her mouth. When she see men beating the hell out of you, or you ain't circumcised your son on the 8th day like Moses did, she ain't gonna say nothing. Next it'll be, why didn't you say nothing? Why didn't you stop me from sinning? Well, I hate you like you hate yourself. I'm your flesh. I hate you like you hate yourself. You know what God told you? I'm just doing what you're doing to God. I hate you like you hate yourself. If you didn't hate yourself, I wouldn't have these 2 black eyes.
That's a spotted and wrinkled relationship.
Last one, y'all. Y'all write down.
Finish these last 4 verses.
Oh, we got 4?
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't gonna stop you. Go ahead.
For we are members of his body,
Right.
of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery.
This is a what?
A great mystery.
We need to find out what mystery means. It means a fact or something that has not been revealed to on a sense like that. It's a mystery.
But I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she receive
Nope.
reverence her husband.
Now, Psalm 111, 9 and 10 said, holy and what?
Reverence.
Is his name.
So, is a woman ever to look at her husband worthy of worship? Because look, when you look up holy or reverend, they're going to say an honorable man or worthy to be worshiped. So, only way a woman can do is look at her husband as an honorable man. But she cannot look at him worthy to be worshiped by the Messiah.
Just like Sarah did Abraham.
Like Sarah did Abraham. 1 Peter 3, y'all, this is the last one. This the homework, y'all. Y'all close it out with this. Colossians 3 all is going to do the same thing as Ephesians 5. Y'all, and this is what we're talking about. The Messiah is getting us ready for the marriage. He's saying, this is the bride that I want. So don't get it twisted. Colossians 3 all. And then y'all write down Luke 13, 1 through 5, and it's going to tell you, because men die and things happen, did they sin greater than anyone else? He said, anybody that don't repent is subject to face the same thing. And what we mean repent, say I'm sorry, and then go right back to the same thing. You're subject to a helicopter picking you out of the crowd of 1,000 people. The blade cut your forehead open. Out of everybody standing there, do you think that he was a sin above all? It said anybody that refused to repent, this is what they take. A tower of Shiloh may fall on you. So y'all read that, and the other homework is Colossians 3, the whole chapter. But we're going to tighten it up, y'all. We're going to finish with 1 Peter 3. And y'all also read Revelation 21, all the whole thing, because it's the marriage supper of the Lamb. Y'all, that's what we're preparing ourselves for, both man and woman, to be a bride of Messiah, to be included in the wedding feast. Just like we started off asking women, is that uncle who disturbs and causes trouble going to be there? Hell no. It's the same thing. Or rebels going to be at the feast? No, not with all that coming in. Hell, they'll be trying to get the bride. Dog, I hear you had a little trouble in the bedroom. They say, I can honeymoon for you if you don't mind. What? I got you.
That's how that pistol.
I got you as a brother.
That's how that pistol play be started.
Yeah. Let's get that 1 Peter 3, y'all. We're going to close out. We're going to get on out of here. 1 Peter 3, real quick.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Because it's going to say something very important that I want y'all to see. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Right.
That if any obey not the word,
right,
they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
See, so it's saying if they don't know the word, they can see how to be a bride by the word, not by what your man said, by the word. That's what they're examining you of.
Hearing that, Corey?
How you gonna say nothing and you see what he doing? You know he can't bring a prostitute to this to this marriage and ain't got to tell you. I don't have to tell you nothing who I bring home. Oh, okay. So I know her. Where the mattress at that she been carrying in them alleys? Where that's at?
You got rid of it.
Where that's at?
Let's get some more.
While they behold your chaste conversation,
right,
with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of planting of hair,
right,
and wearing of gold, and of putting on apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart,
right,
in that which is not corruptible, even the ointment of a meek and quiet spirit.
Ornament, just wearing a, yeah, go ahead.
My bad.
Yeah.
Ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh of great price.
So it said, it ain't saying you can't adorn yourself, because right here it said, or putting on apparel. So what that mean, you going naked? See, like I'm saying, they only grab the parts that they point to so she can see, ooh, I'm scared of that. But it's saying, or apparel. What is apparel? Clothes. So what is this saying? Be naked? But that may be what they want. In the kitchen. And the what?
Bedroom.
And what clothes you got on in there. See, they may look at it that way. But this ain't what the scripture is saying. It's saying just don't make your outer a cup your beauty. Don't make your outer a cup what a man is attracted to, because once he get through with that, he gonna want something else. Especially if he hear what come out the inside. Let's get some more.
Yes. 5. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in your house.
Who did they trust in?
In your house.
They said they trusted in their husband.
In your house.
Go ahead.
Adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husband.
See, so who did they trust in first to put them in subjection to their husband? So a woman must understand, what is my subjection to my husband? It's already in the law. Genesis 3:16 tells you, and it tells you why. 2 Timothy chapter 12, chapter 2, verse 12 through 15. It says, I suffer not a woman to teach. But it takes you back to where the problem was. But yet she shall be saved in childbearing if she keep with sobriety and holiness. Meaning, what I said to you in Genesis 3:16 will go away. You won't have to worry about all that hollering. You won't have to worry about no epidural shot. It'll be just pluka. It's a boy.
That's how the Messiah came out.
No pain. No pain. That's how the Messiah came. No pain. It don't mean that you can just stop there and say they can't teach. It's telling you why I won't allow them to teach in a congregation setting of men. Because that's where the first problem was. She showed herself to a bunch of other men. She put another man over you. That's not the order. It's not the father. It's not then the son, and then a well-dressed man, and then your husband. That's what broke the order. That's all it's telling you why you can't teach. Because if you got that same thing on your mind, if you got, like I said, another man in between your husband and the father, it's going to be a problem. But who's first? It said God first. It's the only way you're supposed to know how your husband's supposed to treat you. It's by the word of God. If you listening to any word of any man, it could be terrible. Say, count every man a what?
Liar.
Let's read some more.
Verse 6.
What it say?
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
See, even as Sarah called Abraham Lord, did Sarah, any writings anywhere, did she ever say, Abraham, my Lord? No. You know what she said it to? The angel that came and told her that she was going to have a baby. She said, who? By my Lord, Abraham? See, this telling you where the understanding that is about Sarah. She's talking to another man about having a baby with her husband, and she passed menopause and he way past, he's got an age vasectomy. If you understand what I'm saying. I mean, the older you get, y'all know what it means. Yeah. Look. You won't pee straight. That's all I'm saying. But with this, she told the angel, who my Lord Abraham, if it was about you can't say nothing to no other person, that would have been a crime right at that point. Nor would the angel come to a message to her first and tell her and know she got a husband.
That's true.
It would be out of order. Oh, Abraham would have said, I don't care because you called me Lord in front of that angel. What you doing talking to them and ain't came and talked to me first? See, but the obedience was, now go tell your husband. Just like Samson, mama, Judges 13, the angel came and talked to her first. You're going to have a son under the Nazarite order. Now go tell your husband. She said, I just talked to a man. How you know it was the Lord? He descended in a flame. Satan can never do miracles like that. The Antichrist will do them to test you. But it's all going to be manufactured. Right? It's going to be smoke and mirrors. It's not going to be the real thing. Because if he could, he would trick everybody and deceive the very elect if it were possible. But he cannot. He's never going to be on the 3rd floor of the cancer ward at Children's Hospital. You will never find the devil or his people there. Will you? Let's read some more. Finish that up.
6.
What it say?
As long as ye do well.
Right.
And are not afraid with any amazement.
With any amazement, not amazed by who you're talking to. This is what it's saying. A woman, she was amazed by Satan, wasn't she? A tree one to be desired. Quick amazement. Cause somebody walk in a 3-piece suit and got gaiters and smiling with that Leon smile on the side. Like he was in the 5 Heart Beast. You can't flip out for that. Women, you gonna be took. Let's read some more.
Verse 7.
What it say?
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Dwell with them according to knowledge. Whose knowledge?
The knowledge of the Most High.
Right? Go ahead. Or their knowledge of what they have of the Most High. If you don't teach them nothing, they won't know nothing.
That's right.
If you tell them to shut up, expect shut up all the time. They won't know anything. So that's why the head pound and keep. Did not tell you to do it. Why didn't you call them people? You told me don't talk to nobody but you. That's who you told me to. That's why I didn't say nothing when they were cutting the lights off. That's why I didn't say nothing when they was cutting the water off. You was gone. And you told me don't worry about where you be at. Don't call over here no more, asking me and telling me about no problems over there where you dwelling at. And then you get mad. Let's read some more.
7 again.
What it say?
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Right.
Giving honor unto the wife, and as unto the weaker vessel.
Uh-oh.
And as being heirs together of the grace of life.
Being heirs what?
Together of the grace of life.
Right.
That your prayers be not hindered.
That your prayers be not hindered. Which prayer the Most High gonna listen to? Hers telling him, Lord, I know he beats me regular, but I deserve it. He ain't showed me a scripture yet, but I know I deserve it. No, he ain't showed me a scripture yet, but I deserve it. Look, when Abraham went to the Lord, he said, Sarah told me to do this. The Lord said, listen to her. So I just don't understand when you're saying like Sarah obeyed Abraham. Sarah called him Mr. Who you talking about? The ruler of the household. Abraham. Did Sarah, y'all read anywhere that where she didn't have no say-so? Where you reading that and in what book? If he's comparing the women to Sarah, what book was they beaten down and run over? And this man got all the money and he thought Eliezer was going to be his son. He never thought that he was going to be able, the strength was going to return. Let's finish this up. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
What it say?
Finally, be ye all of one mind.
What kind of mind?
One mind. Having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but counterwise blessings, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Right.
For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile.
Right.
Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him speak peace and ensure it.
Right.
For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Elohim is against them that do evil.
So when you hear somebody say, if I do wrong, you got to ride with me. That ain't in here.
For my man.
Look, he say, treat them as according to knowledge. They're the weaker vessel. You cannot put them in the strong position. Sirach 25:22. If a woman maintains a man, she's full of what? Reproach, envy, and much what? Y'all know what it says. So it said, and maintain. How you just gonna wear them drawers till ain't no more elastic in them? You ain't bought me none. Wait a minute. I got to buy your drawers now. It's one thing if you buy your own and I just say I went and got them, but you wearing them to where it looks like a sackcloth. Ain't no back in them. It just ain't no back in them. Ain't no elastic in them. How you got a rope on your drawers? If you can't buy your drawers, it's a problem. Family Dollar sell a 3-pack for $8.
She bought me 2 last week.
Boy, but look, the bottom line, you had a few and you could have went and bought your own. I mean, she just went on here. Because she spent your money too. You know, it's both y'all money. It probably got spent too. I bought you some new drawers. Look, you know, new drawers is what satisfies us. They can go get a new car. And you're like, what you get me? Some drawers. You like, thank you. Because those are things we don't look to, but we have to because you're a man. It's the first thing gonna happen. You think a woman ain't gonna look at the seat of your drawers and you talking about courting her and finna marry her? And it's a print in there, a stain in there big as a footprint. Y'all, we gonna finish up right here. Y'all read the rest of that for homework. But look, y'all, everything we read, when y'all read 1 Corinthians 7 again too, because y'all, it's gonna be full of anger, reproof, y'all. That's what the argument is with us, man and wife, because we understand the order as respect a person. Wife cannot respect her husband like God. You mirror what was done and you respect him if he's doing what God did for you before you got married to him. You don't think God was in the picture before you got married? They tell the fathers, keep your daughter single if you can, but if they start wanting, let them marry.
Yeah.
But make sure it's right. Let them marry before you try to hold them down, because you don't want them bringing a baby back in your house. Then you're going to have other things you do. So when they get wanted, let them marry. They saying, I can do the Lord and a husband. But if any man tell you, you have to listen to me like you do God, that's going to be a problem unless they're doing like God. Like Abraham did like God. He said, this is my friend. Abraham didn't bring in all of that fornication to the party, did he? Abraham had concubines. That's what the scriptures say. Name them. Name them right now while we right here, while you make that statement. Name every one of the concubines. And you know what you're going to get? Hagar, Sarah, and Keturah. And the second and third wife being concubines, which means second and third wife, not sex slaves. Ain't nowhere in the Bible handmaids or sex slaves. Where you reading that at? That it's a group of women out here that are handmaids, that means you can get busy at will. Because the law say, if they trick you in the handmaid, and the law say, once you have that relationship being fruitful, their name changed to wife. Whether they are harlot, whether they are practicing this, when you marry them, the name changed to wife. Those are the rules. That's not word etymology. That's the law. With that, y'all, we're gonna close out. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, Putin, I say, how you gonna finish on hash and skid marks, brother?
Hey, well, how much time we got? Read it out. Read it out. Read it out. Look, like you say, look, she like, how you gonna lead that understanding right there? Let's read it out. Finish that up, bro. Where you at? Finish that up, y'all.
Who's reading?
Right, got it. Where you at? He's at verse 12.
Verse 12.
Yeah. Finish that up.
Well, you did have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse
I ain't gonna
12.
stop you. Go ahead.
For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. And who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good? And if ye suffer for righteous sakes, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled, but sanctify the Elohim Yahweh in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear, having a good conscience.
Having a what?
Having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse you good conversation in Christ. For it is better if the will of Yahweh be so, that ye suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing. For Christ also has once suffered for sins, and just for the unjust, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to Yahweh, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in
prison.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the word, y'all. My bad. My hand was covered. Which sometimes are disobedient, when once the long suffering of Yahweh waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few that is 8 souls were saved by water.
How many souls?
8 souls were saved by water. The like figured whereunto even baptism, both also now save us.
Doth, oh no.
Huh?
Doth
also now save us. Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of the good conscience toward Yahweh.
Right.
By the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of Yahweh. Angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him.
So let's see what's under him. So y'all, you cannot give that power to nobody who's not, don't even have angels subject to them. They playing with the devil. Playing with all manner of communication that can't be found in the scripture. Saying things that can't be found in the scripture. You better do this or you better do that. Y'all, the scriptures tell a lot of people you better do. Male, female, free and bond, rich and poor, what you better be doing. We got any questions out there too, Bob?
No, sir.
Y'all got any questions? Okay. How y'all doing? Since y'all good? Y'all got any questions? Are we good? Okay. All right. Let's get it on, y'all.
All right, y'all, we're going to get this closed in prayer.
Good class, bro.
Yes,
The
sir.
Most High's permission. In the name of his only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 47th chapter, it reads, "O clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto Yah with the voice of triumph. For the Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved. Selah.
Selah.
Yah is gone up with a shout, the Most High with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to Yah. Sing praises. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For Yah is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. Yah reigneth over the heathen. Yah sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the Elohim of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto Yah. He is greatly exalted."
Hallelujah! Selah! Yes, sir. Thank all y'all that continue to contribute to the ministry. Y'all know who y'all are. Many out there on the East Coast, Tennessee, Memphis, King George, Virginia, all of y'all. Thank y'all very much, y'all. Y'all continue support to the ministry, y'all. We greatly appreciate it. And to the radio station.
Anybody got my number, shoot me a text with your name in it, because I done lost my phone, so I done lost all my Hebrew.
They say, boy, how you gonna leave here with that skid mark?
Yeah, that was it.
Who say that?
Hoop nah. I got one for you. I got